Welcome to the Hex Late Show. It's 43 OG coming at you on a Tuesday night in Melbourne, Australia. We've got the folks in the back. We've got Sammy Chica. We've got Bloobum. We have Jexxa. But before we get to that, tonight's a special night because we have a premiere for you guys. As you all know, in the Hex community, we have a lot of talented folk, a lot of talented artists, and a few rap artists. We have the likes of Freddie Quotes. We've got Corey the Investor, and there are others. And I don't have a list of them in front of me, so I can't tell you who they are. But well, we've got Pulse Lord. We've got a whole load of talented people. What I've got for you tonight is a new guy. His name is J Everything. With DJ Cryptomatic. I've got the guys in the back just typing them out for me, luckily. Thanks, guys. But we've got J Everything with a world premiere of his song, his rap song, TYRH. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Yo. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. Yes. Best investment went all in. Whoa. Yeah. And staking, we ballin'. Cop hexing, what's next? Stake stacks to the max. 4 5s and relax. Future me giving thanks. Lil Squid climb the ranks. Unstaking, restaking 80%. Owning my shit, I ain't paying no rent. Feel like a boss on the way to the bank. TYRH gotta give thanks. Attitude of gratitude is natural for a Hexagon. Yes. Hex flexing, all thanks to him. After every dip we ascend, up into the right be the trend. By design is why ratification delayed. Staking letter got me heavily paid. Making cheddar every step of the way. Haters tell them it's a scam. They just jealous they ain't getting okay. So many wish they would've take a chance. Join me and take a leap of faith. They will be singing with me today. TYRH. Hex IQ test from the start. Those involved saw what I saw. Picture painted by Richard Hart. Only haters try shitting on. They lacking vision, ain't really smart. Hexagon's the best of men invested in Hex. Just look at the chart. Haters debating, they hating the facts. That is still outperforming them all. Player been driving a bitch in a moped. Now I'm performing a car. Everything around me changed for the better. I'm so glad Sean singing this song. Days of being a bit of broke ass in the past, right where they belong. Yes. So I gotta give thanks to RH for showing the way. I'm feeding the fam. Used to be dark days when I go to sleep. Now I'm dreaming again. Take a look at my staker app. I continue to win. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. Yes. Best investment went all in. Yeah. Whoa. And staking we ballin'. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. I cop Hex and went all in. Yeah. Whoa. And staking we ballin'. Take a look at my staker app. Long stakes, stay getting fat. In my old days, I be okay. Daily pay me in Hex. Instead of hating, you should buy Hex. Try staking, be a clever man. T-shares be the money printer. Printing money like the government. Haters is dumb and they never get it. On board them and they go quiet. Daily pay, make them see the vision. Those who boss, they will about it. Come forward and they say sorry. Hexagons, don't worry about it. We staking Hex in the staker app. Meeting up, this is throw parties. Make it rain on the PulseChain. Mainnet come with all copies. All of my Hex, yes. All of my ERCs and the PRCs, man, it's gonna be lit. You broke, you're gonna be rich. Stop crying, this hop on his dick. TYRH gotta give thanks. Strategize how I stake mines. Bigger page with a longer time. 4 5s just to nullify any chance of me turning out to be a dead broke ass old guy. Stay staked till the day I die. Restake it till I'm 85. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. Yes. Best investment went all in. Yeah. Whoa. And staking we ballin'. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. flexing like all day. I got Hex and went all in. Yeah, whoa. And steak and we ballin'. Yo.
Yeah, man.
She's a banger. That was a cracker.
Yeah,
Dude, that's a cracker. I love it. I love it. I love it. Jay, everything. Props, man. Props.
Yeah, props,
So,
man.
guys, you can look up Jay Everything on YouTube. Hang on. Why am I big? We don't need to see my big face on the screen here. Hang on. There we go. That's better. That's better.
Yeah,
on,
so I was privileged enough. I got to have a little sample of that a night or two ago, just before Richard's live stream. I was handed that track, and all last night and this morning, all I've got repeating through my head is that tune. It just sticks with you, man. It's good.
I listened to it on loop for about an hour. It's just like, yep, I love it. I love it. That's awesome. Go check it out, guys, and subscribe to him on YouTube. Hey,
yeah. So I really want to shout him out. So this is the kind of guy he is. He flicked over the tune, and I said, "Yeah, cool, mate. Do you want to come on and show your face?" He said, "No, I don't want to. It's not about me. This is a song for the community. Just get it out there, play it." And I said, "Yeah, cool. That's fine. Any socials you want me to plug or to shield for you?" No, man, this is just get it out there for the community. So he's a bit of a mystery man. Doesn't want to get too much out there in front of everyone, but he's put this out there for the community.
Better get a good music video for that one.
Yeah, it's a cracker. And he's got other tunes on, a bunch of other tracks on his YouTube channel. So go check that out.
Yeah.
we will we'll definitely play that again. I think on the outro.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100% on the outro.
I tell you what, you're a lot nicer than I am because I would have made everyone wait to the bitter end. To hear it.
You know what? I get that. Like, yeah, you know, it's a hot track, so I wanted to play it, man. I just wanted to lead with it and play it.
Yeah, that's a cracker.
So for anyone, like, it's TYRH, and you see, like, here we've got the hashtag. So I mean, TYRH is thank you, Richard Hart, right? So it's basically a thank you, and I don't think there's one Hexagon that doesn't want to say thank you to Richard Hart. Yeah. So make sure you're tagging that TYRH on all your Twitter posts. Hashtag TYRH. Make sure you're tagging that everywhere, guys, because you know, Jay Everything definitely deserves it.
Yeah, can we put the link out if we haven't already? Oh, you've put the link out for his channel? Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool, Briz. Yeah, so go check it out. Put that in your Twitter feeds and what other socials you got going on. Yeah, get it out. It's a cracker of a song.
And a big shout out to Crypto King as well for hooking all of that up. He was the dude in the background. Yeah, boom. Big boom. Hey, shout out to everyone in the chat. We have 50 people watching right now.
Hey,
what's going on, guys? What is going on? And Crypto King has just put a link in the chat as well to that, so you can go check it out.
Thanks, Crypto King. I just tweeted it out as well.
Yeah, it's a sick song. It's sick. It's sick. Yeah, so
I don't know how you guys are listening to it, but I've had the chance to put it through a decent stereo with big set of speakers and a nice big subwoofer, and yeah, that's the way to listen to it.
Yeah,
nice.
It's awesome. So, guys, what's happening? Bloobum, Jexxa, Sammy. It's been another sort of sideways week in Hex. We haven't been doing very much, I guess. We've just been sort of hovering around that 20 cent, 17 cent mark. Can I just ask, where are we right now? Because I actually had a message, because last week we had Steph from Staker on. I got a message from him during the week saying, hey, I called the 17 cents. And he did call 17 cents, but I had to let him know the 17 cents.
He wasn't on stream.
He was, well, no. it needs to be. It actually needs to be when, when we stream on a Tuesday night. Yeah. So
cents now.
is it 19 cents? Is it?
Yeah, and it looks like we're the only green. Not much in the green.
So yeah, I'm V2, just under 19 cents, a shade under. But I mean, I've been out of the loop for a week. I had a bit of a well-earned rest and went to a place where there was literally no internet. So I'm still in a bit of catch-up mode over the last couple of days. But man, last time I went on holidays around January, that's when the whole market shit itself as well. Once again, we didn't have.
We know who was dumping their bags for their 5-star hotel, mate.
That's it.
So yeah, it was fun and games every time I go away. So it's funny though that we've seen like we've been doing this anyway with Hex. We knew we had a big run up and we're sort of recovering from that. We've had our bottom. We can't just rocket straight up. You've got to climb those stairs back up.
Because there are traders now. See, this is the thing. Yeah. Right now, there are traders who are like, oh, I'm going to make a quick buck.
Yep.
So they're going to get played out of the game soon. Like this is what happens in Hex.
Yeah, and traders are looking purely at support and resistance and patterns. And I mean, you look at Mitch Ray, and that they don't care about the community or anything like that. It's just numbers on a chart or lines on a chart for those guys. So they're just trading the technicals of it. So Hex goes up pretty well. It recovers really well. So for traders, that's a pretty good asset to be trading. So unfortunately, we have to get pushed around a little bit by their whims. If they're doing big buys and big sells, it all helps us. But yeah, just got to go along for the ride. Now, I think we were already doing this pattern before Bitcoin and ETH and all that just shit the bed. So I think, and this is the general feel I get in the community, I don't think anyone's stressing or this is just situation normal for Hexagons.
Sideways.
Yeah. But I think we're going to have to get used to having traders, as soon as Pulse and PulseX come in, we're going to see a lot more traders, a lot more volatility.
There's nothing new, though. There's traders.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. As Hex gets bigger and on more exchanges and things like that as well, people aren't about the buying and holding it and staking it. The majority of people that hold ETH, I would argue, probably don't even use ETH the way it's intended. They're not using the protocols that are built on it. They're not using the services that are running on it. They're buying it, holding it on a centralized exchange for just capital gains or for gains.
I think it's been all week. Like, everything's crapped the bed. We've just gone sideways. We're collecting interest every day.
Yeah.
It's like Dunsky.
We haven't gone into a full bear market yet and seen how Hex performs. It's going to be interesting.
Bring it on.
Hey, guys, I've been meaning to ask you guys a question. What do you like with? Let's put Hex aside for the time being, and we'll talk about what Hex might do in the bear market in a second. But before we get to that, I'm interested to know what you guys think Bitcoin and Ethereum are going to do. Like, because I'm of the opinion with all this money printing, I don't think they're going to go down 85. I think they've got more to go down, but I don't think they're going to go down 85%. Like, I don't think BTC will. I think we're going to see like between a 75 and like a 70 and 65 maybe and 75% drawdown. They've just printed so much money. I just don't know how we can.
Yeah,
I could be wrong. I could be wrong.
So there's a major trend line at about the 30, call it anywhere between sort of 30 to 32 is sort of the major trend line for Bitcoin. So it could crab sideways across to that trend line, and that would be the true tester, how it handles that point when it gets there. So if you see a break below that 30 2900 29,000 to 30, that's when we're going to see some fireworks. This could still go down to 29 to 30 and be okay. Technically.
Hey, got Bluey. Some people in the chat are commenting that they can't hear you speak. Can you say something, mate?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yeah,
I can hear you well as well.
Yeah, I hear a little bit of an echo, but not much. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I can hear you. Hang on, I'll see if I can pump up your volume on this side. Can you just say a couple more words?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yep, that's all right.
1.
I think that's as good as we're going to get. Yeah, I was thinking. You know, I think it's going to be between maybe 16 and 24,000. I think that's a big range, right? But I think we're going to be in that range for BTC, and I think for ETH, I think I'm thinking the sort of the 1,000 to 1,200. I think if we dip below 1,000, I don't think it will. I think it's going to be like real quick.
So I guess the issue I have with that, and it doesn't mean it can't happen, is we have never gone below a previous all-time high. Does that make sense? So when
So the one from a few years back, 2018. Yep.
Yeah. So when we retrace, we never go down as deep as the previous all-time high before that.
What was the previous all-time high before?
So for Bitcoin, 20K or 19 and a bit of change. So do we think we're going to go down?
But do you think that's a reasonable way to? I mean, it's not unreasonable, but the reason I'm questioning it is because we haven't seen the same thing on the way up. Like we haven't seen the same thing on the way up. So on the way down, we're going to see the same thing. You know, we might see, we may be seeing something different. Like this might be the first time we're seeing what we're seeing.
Potentially,
You know, so look, I think that ETH like wouldn't dip much below 1,000, but I don't know. I mean, I really don't know. And as far as Hex goes, you guys know what I think about that. You know, and I've got a little clip from Richard Hart as well that I want to show in a second. But what are your thoughts, Sammy, Bluey? What do you guys think about what BTC and ETH will do?
Go. You want to go first, Bluey?
I got no idea. It'll go down a bit, and then people will start buying it, and it'll go up. It's just so boring, Bitcoin. Honestly, I don't think people buy it anymore. I think it's just like, you know, countries and rich people are kind of buying it now. Most people coming into the crypto thing, I don't think they're really interested in Bitcoin. They want to do mad gains. They know they're not going to do them with Bitcoin. With ETH, it'll probably follow Bitcoin, whatever it does. If Bitcoin goes down, it'll go down. And when Bitcoin starts going back up, it'll go up.
What I think sorry, Sammy, to jump in before you.
Right.
What I think will be the game changer, and what I really hope to see it, and not because for any particular reason other than I want to see ETH break its bond to Bitcoin.
It's got to be paired with like more directly with USDC if it's going to do that.
Potentially, yeah. If you get one coin, might be Hex that does that. Who knows? You get one coin or token that breaks that bond and goes past it, because there's no reason why something can't be bigger than Bitcoin. It's just a perception thing at this point in time.
Yeah.
And as soon as you get one thing that does that, man, that's going to lift the roof off of crypto completely.
Yeah,
it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time.
It has to happen. I mean, when does it happen? Does that matter when it happens? If it happens like when Bitcoin's crashing, or when? I mean, it's the most likely to happen in that time if Hex does what we think it might do in the bear market.
Yep.
Which is you know, do quite well.
You know what's going to have to save Bitcoin? Is countries are going to just have to start adopting it. Like El Salvador did. I think Tonga wants to. And there was another country. Oh, that's right, because This is probably, but like the president of El Salvador was meeting with the prime minister of Turkey.
Turkey. Yeah.
Turkey's like, whatever they use for their money is just absolutely in the toilet, and he's getting desperate. And they've had a real kind of, they've banned crypto, and they've tried to come down hard on crypto, and they're a super huge economy. So for them to take it on would be massive. But Erdogan's just the kind of wild card kind of dude who might just, he's the kind of dude who'll just pull something out of his back pocket that no one's expecting. And you know what? And they said they didn't discuss crypto, but I'm just like, you're meeting with the president of El Salvador. What? Why? Like, and Erdogan is a real kind of wheeler dealer, kind of shifty bugger kind of dude. So it's a way out there prediction.
You think he's trying to get his playbook?
If someone like Turkey decide, right, when we're going to start paying people in Bitcoin, we're going to take on Bitcoin, we're just going to start paying people in Bitcoin instead of our own money, because our own money is just in the toilet, then, and they can't afford to buy the American dollars to buy their other stuff.
Yeah.
Like something like that, if there's like a sort of a cascade of countries who start just heading into Bitcoin, maybe and using it as an international trade thing. But yeah, that's the only way I can really see like Bitcoin going full kind of ballistic.
Tilt. Sammy, what's your thoughts?
I can't hear anyone now.
There's a lot of unsurety in the world at the moment, and I know the stock market sunk down basically, people are unsure what's happening with this coronavirus. Russia's thinking of invading Ukraine. There's a lot of problems in the world, and people are just not confident with their investments. And we've seen stock market go down. We see Bitcoin go down with it. Bitcoin needs adoption to grow and economic mass. Hey, Tanjo, what's up?
Yo, what's up, everyone?
We've been left.
Hey, Sammy. Hey, Jexxa.
All the people that should be driving have left, so we get to take over tonight.
We're taking over. So, yeah, I reckon Bitcoin will go down. I reckon we'll see between 10 and 20 grand for sure. Ethereum, yeah. I mean, Ethereum is always disappointing in the bull run. Like, you're like, oh my God. Like, if we see $300 again, I'll be buying up, mate. Like, I know no one's probably going to use it anymore because it's...
You just needed to be able to have your fees to pay your fees for end state.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Yeah, so I reckon it's going to shit itself eventually. Won't be too far away.
Yeah, I'm not as bearish as Richard saying the 10K mark. But I think we've got a little bit of downside coming our way. Yeah, hit that 30K mark, and let's see where we go to from there.
Yeah, there's only two things that Richard and I disagree on: psychedelics and Bitcoin.
So did you get to catch the track we just played, Tangent?
No, I only just got here. Sorry. What was it? Was it a Hexagon?
We'll give it another run in a moment. It's a cracker, mate. This is up there with the best of them.
How come people keep disappearing from the...
I've got no idea.
I reckon the internet's just off its face. It's been like that for a while.
Everything's glitching, hey? Like...
We're having a heat wave here in Melbourne.
No way.
What's up, Tangent?
Yo,
what's going on, bro?
What's up, man? We had some hot days over here, and we were doing sunset beach runs. So we would just go and swim at the beach as the sun's setting. It was madness.
Oh, no. Yeah, you'll
recommend it.
Tangent.
Because when you have those super hot days, it cooks. Like, the air is still hot, the water's hot, the sand is hot, everything's hot. So as the sun's going down, you can't get burnt, and it's just everything's nice and warm. It's just amazing.
Aren't you scared of the sharks over there, Tangent? Because they're pretty bad.
I was just about to say that. Like, the sun gets to a certain angle, where the water just starts to look jet black, and it is scary as fuck. Because we go to Scarborough, and there's only shark nets at Cot, and so you can't see shit. The water like it looks jet black.
I can't believe you actually do it. I've had so many shark attacks in WA. Like that's like my no-go zone. I've never been there, but I'm not going swimming there unless it's netted.
Yeah. It was quite funny. I told my mum that I was going with this chick to the aquarium, and she was like, "The aquarium? That doesn't sound like your kind of vibe." And I was like, "Yeah, this chick likes sharks." And my mum just goes, "Take her to the beach." I fucking lost it. But yeah, it's
Hey,
true. It is a risk.
Tangent. We were talking about how low we thought Bitcoin or Ethereum could go, and just before you answer, I'll just address in the chat. People reckon I'm fucking around, guys. You don't understand. The internet in Australia sucks. It sucks so bad.
He's frozen right now.
You don't understand. Am I frozen? I'm not frozen.
No,
Might
not
be
right
just me,
now.
is it? It might be me.
Oh, you just went blurry.
That's my camera. Did
you just
that's
down
me
res?
trying to get.
That's an awesome camera. How good is Richard's new camera too? Did you watch live the other day when he got rugged?
Yeah.
Yeah. So well, he was talking about Elon Musk and then something else. What else was he talking about before he got rugged?
I don't think there was anything in particular.
I think it was the YouTubers all getting their accounts hacked as an inside job more than what the content of what he was saying. You know how like heaps of YouTubers all got hacked?
Yeah, but they didn't get their channels taken down.
Oh, did they not?
No, they just got like a scam.
Like a scam video. Oh, so different.
Who knows what? But
Yeah,
So how low do you think it's going to go, man? Sorry, man. Sorry,
man, I've been wrong. I've been wrong on bottom calls before, particularly on Hex. But so proceed with caution. But I actually think this local low that Bitcoin has just formed, I think that could actually be the low. Like I think it's like I wouldn't be surprised if that's it. That from here we don't go any lower on Bitcoin.
You reckon?
Yeah, that's just my opinion.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I reckon around the 30 mark would be as low as we would go. I think this could be the double bottom that's getting formed.
Lower.
This could be a double bottom that's getting formed here.
I reckon.
I see between
I'm
16
not
and 24.
Any evidence aside from my gut feeling that I think it's going to go lower.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, I don't think we've had enough pain. This
Yeah,
pain
it's-
does not feel bad
it would
enough.
be
I
over-
remember the
yeah.
pain.
But
The pain of
keep in
last
mind,
time was just so bad, man.
Keep
That
in mind,
pain
it's-
was just.
But
Ugh.
it's different for us, man, because we've got Hex, and that so we're not feeling the pain that everyone else is feeling. Their portfolios are wrecked.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So we're immune to the pain. Hex has immunized us against the pain.
Well, on that note, let me play a clip from Richard Hart, and I just want to pick up on one particular thing that he says in that clip.
World's largest airdrop, Richard Hart, called the top twice, created an asset that went up in price 10,000-fold. That's 1,000,000% in under a year and a half. World's largest airdrop, free books, t.me/scivive, free chat rooms. We got 65,000 plus, maybe 68,000 people in the t.me/PulseChain com. We've got 38,000 people in t.me/HexCrypto. We've got, I think, maybe 35,000 people in t.me/PulseXCom. And we're just winning the game. I mean, you look at these sacrifice addresses for PulseChain and PulseX, and they've got over $650 million of stablecoins sitting in there. Now, isn't that funny? Stablecoins during a bear market. Genius. That's a nice thing. By the way, when Bitcoin had dropped 55% from my top call 10 months ago, Hex went up. So if you had sold Bitcoin 10 months ago when I called the top on the day and bought Hex instead, you'd be up 10 times your money right now instead of down half. That's 20 times better. I'm the giving tree of crypto. It's crazy.
So he's saying hang out in stable coins for a bit. if
No. I think he was. Look, I don't know. I mean, who knows exactly what all that means? But just to bring up that point, up the point of there being $600 million sitting in stable coins, and we're like in a bear market. I wonder what that could mean for things that I just wonder what that could mean. I wonder.
So the other
let your
comment
mind wander. Let your mind wander.
The other comment that a few people have picked up on as well, which I think was done in the same recording, paraphrasing here, Hex has never taken more than, was it 6 weeks to make an all-time high or something like that, or 6 months? 6 months to make a new all-time high.
It makes it a new all-time high no longer than 6 months.
Yeah. So,
now's bargain
historically.
Most things.
Historically, yeah.
And now's when you want to be dollar cost.
Oh, yeah.
Basically,
I'm 2K for ETH. You know how you asked Bitcoin and ETH?
Yep.
So,
yep.
BTC, I'm bottoms in at whatever that wick was, like 33, 34K, whatever. And ETH, I reckon we're going to go 2K.
Can I just also point out something, actually? When Richard was rugged, and whether it was censorship or whether it was perceived censorship, the amount of people that just bombarded with tweets, started live streaming, started talking about it. I mean, if anyone's intention was to censor somebody, it had the complete opposite effect. And so I think that ultimately any kind of censorship that people try to do is just a failed tactic on their part.
Yeah, I don't think it was. I think it was more incompetence than.
You never know.
Than deliberate.
No, it happens so much, though. How many times he's been rugged like 3 times already, hasn't he? He's had his channel.
But they reinstated the channel pretty quickly, though.
And they have so many scams up. It's just like.
I know.
I mean,
there's no shit at their job.
Maybe it's incompetence. Maybe.
Yeah. Look, there was a Joe Rogan podcast with a dude who was talking about this sort of stuff, and he was just saying how much power individuals within Google and YouTube have. Wow. That like one person can just do stuff if they've got like an idea or something, they can just do what they want. So I mean that was interesting. I didn't realize that individuals had so much power in these and Google is it is the biggest and anyway, I won't go on about that.
Yeah, and that's what I said. Half the time I just think you're managing. I think we've covered this a bit before, but you're managing a massive platform. Hard to catch everything. Sometimes you've got to be more conservative than others. There's a lot of shit that goes on, and there is things that they do that are deliberate. I don't think this was one of them. I think it's going to make really good viewing for the doco though, for sure.
Yeah, exactly. It was perfect timing for the doco.
For sure.
Done.
Yeah, that's it. It was really good. The way that he kept talking after he was rugged. If you guys saw that bit of it, all goes to show too. Like, I mean, look at these big companies that are censoring the internet, like Facebook, YouTube, Google. Like they're censoring everywhere, and they're the big. That's where the big money is in tech. Like they're giants, But we're in a big giant in crypto. We're in Hex, and Richard's taken over crypto, so we're in like a few giants.
We're still pretty niche. Like, let's be realist about it. Like we're still very niche within crypto as well.
That's not a bad thing.
Yeah, no, it's not at all. It's opportunity.
Yeah.
Like because
But it's only the beginning.
Because we're all like each other on Twitter and all that kind of stuff. Like we are kind of like surrounded by. It feels like it's just like taking over because that's all we kind of see. But look at the numbers. We've got a while to go. There's plenty of room to grow.
Bluey, your mic volume sounds a little low to me. Do you guys agree with that?
He's been getting crushed by chat.
Oh, shit. Sorry, I didn't even read chat, but
Yeah, it is a bit.
So, have you guys talked about the pump that happened today?
With,
No.
The hex pump?
I got to be honest, I was head down, bum up. I didn't even notice.
So no bullshit. I tweeted saying, I honestly can't wait. Like, I'm frothing for the next Richard Hart, the floor is lava tweet.
Oh.
And I looked at the timestamps 3 minutes later, like, because I went to the minute chart to see whether that tweet was before or after that pump. 3 minutes later, the price pumped by like a single can, like 10%. 10% pump.
Yep.
Madness. So either mad coincidence or there's a benevolent whale who likes to make my predictions come true, or as some would say, there's a possibility it was me that did it, but I promise you that wasn't the case. I didn't do it.
You did say that last time, didn't you?
I say that every time, and it's always true.
How does this sound? Is that a bit better?
Yeah, that's much better.
Oh, yeah?
That's much better.
That's probably worse, man.
It's a bit of
Worse?
yeah, it's a bit of feedback. Yeah, a bit of
but at least, but your voice is coming
white
through more
noise.
clearer as well. But yeah, there is a hissing
Turn
sound
the
now.
noise suppression off. Okay.
Yeah, I saw that tweet, Tangent, and actually that's why I went and looked at the hex chart. So I didn't even realise the pump, but I hadn't looked at the prices.
How about
Oh,
that?
well, then that confirms I was definitely before that pump. Madness, hey? Just
Yeah.
like that's. I'm looking at 15-minute candles. That's one of the biggest single 15-minute candles that I can see going back all the way back to 8th of Jan. So yeah, that's massive.
How does that sound? Is that
Oh,
okay?
the other thing that I'll mention that's relative to that is I think it's important, if any whales are listening, hint, hint, that we close this week back above the long-term diagonal line that everyone always draws, because at the moment, I think we're just below it. So,
Yep.
So I really, really
that white
think it's
noise
important.
is Sammy.
Me?
Yeah, I think it was.
Oh, okay, so I'm okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's
Yeah.
okay now. It's okay now. We're good now. We're good.
Cool.
Sorry, Tangent, mate.
No, that's cool. So we've got that long-term trend line that everyone knows about, right? Like the super long-term one, that diagonal line that everyone loves to draw
We're
up
just
and
going
to
to be
the
waiting
right.
for the end of the PulseX sack. It's going to go sideways at least until the end of the PulseX sack.
What's your theory on that?
Well, that's what happened last time. Like when through the sack phase. No whale is going to let it pump to let people come in.
It would have to pump to extraordinary levels.
I'll tell you what's
for
going to happen.
anyone to benefit.
This is what's
from
going to happen. It's going to go sideways until the end of the PulseX sack. At the point when he announces the fork, Hex goes through the roof. That's what's going to happen. And then it'll come down.
Everyone FOMOs in to get their double.
Yeah, and then it'll come down right before the fork as traders are selling that sell the news bloody thing. And then it just goes.
Buy the rumor, sell the news.
Okay. Yeah.
But Bloobum, we're quite a bit lower than where most of the whales sacrificed right at the start. That was up at like, I think 32 cents ish. And remember that every day that goes past, assuming there is price suppression, every day that goes past, they don't have to suppress it as much because of the bonding curve, right?
Yeah.
So they could let the price go up by like from here 5% a day and still be the same level of price suppression as it was yesterday or today or whatever. So just personally, I really do not want to see a weekly close below that long-term trend line. So we've got until Monday, for me, Monday 8 a.m., depending on where you are in the world. So just under a week because we're already Tuesday now.
Well, when I say sideways, I mean mid-20s.
Yeah, that's survivable. If we can get for me, I'm placing it as long as it's as long as it's over about 21 cents, it's fine.
It's going to be fine anyway. It's just like it'll just be fine until it pumps. But it's not going to maybe it'll dip down a bit, but it's not going to go too far down, do you? I can't see it dumping or anything like that, like the rest of the crypto.
16.8 was a big support level as well.
But what do you think about that comment that Richard made about stables in the bear market? Like what
he thinks Bitcoin.
that's a very sort of just random thing to bring up. You know, like he's, you know, there's something.
Yeah, he's.
I don't know. Maybe I'm reading
Don't
too
buy
much into me
Bitcoin.
personally.
He's saying don't buy Bitcoin right now.
No,
I
think so. I think Day 43 is on the right track. He has deliberately mentioned it for a reason. Now, I don't think it was to say everyone should be sitting in stable coins, although you could. I think what he was saying is all those funds that got put into the addresses, the amounts that got dumped in them are being protected. Now, that's it, and I think Brizzy said it in the chat. That's a big war chest. What do you do with a war chest? And that's the big question is that deployed?
I'll tell you what he's going to do with it. He's going to bridge it over after the pulse.
Yeah, that's what I think. Yeah.
So that they have a stable coin over there.
Yep, agree. Yep. So I think I know where Day 43 is going with. Thinks there might be a bit of the old pomperoony there, but is that what you think?
I don't know, but it's just to me it just stuck out as something. You know when you're listening to something, I wasn't even paying attention to the screen, but sometimes I'll be listening, and in my mind I'll go ding 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 ding, and then and that was a moment for me that was like, okay, that's. That's not the normal. That's not the normal stuff that we hear. You know,
I do like I do like your thinking, but I think that would, whilst it would be a short term feel good, you'd have a bunch of traders and guys that just sell into that.
I disagree. I don't think Richard is pumping Hex price. Is that lying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, and that's where I was heading with this. That's a short-sighted, short-term move. If you've got that much firepower, you put that into the infrastructure and
he's only
be deployed better.
The OA, I reckon the only thing that OA would do would be thin out or thicken up the liquidity if they want.
But that's got nothing. What's the sacrifice address got to do with OA?
With what? Sorry.
With what?
We've lost him.
What's the sac to do with the OA? Did you hear me?
Yeah, we did. Well, you can't.
I think Bloobum was just using like a generic term for like
big bag holder.
So the OA is one thing to do with Hex, right? Sacrifice addresses have got nothing to do with the OA, in my opinion.
All three of them
if you think otherwise, right?
All three of them could theoretically be different entities. Even Pulse to Pulse X, they could theoretically.
But the OA is specifically
Hex.
Something to do with Hex, the contract of Hex. Like there's something going on with the OA and Hex. But the sacrifice addresses, like you should not expect any profit from the work of others, right? That's been said, countless times. We understand it. When we sacrificed, that's exactly what we did. We sacrificed for freedom of movement, freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, all that good stuff, right?
But the OA sacked for Pulse. The OA sacked for Pulse. So
that's right. Yeah.
So that OA is now controlling a massive amount of the Pulse network as well.
Yep, that's right.
Are we hitting $1 billion yet?
We'll get.
Can I give you a heterodox opinion about the OA's next move? Now
what opinion?
A heterodox opinion about the OA.
Take a step.
Sorry.
Take a step.
I thought you said something else for a second. I'm like, come on, man. Let's not bring it up again. Go on.
So I think he's not gonna sacrifice for the Pulse X. I think OA's
I'll take the other side of that bet. Take the other side of that bet, man. All day, every day.
My reasons.
Let's hear it. Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay. So it's important. The OA is really important for Hex, right? For all those reasons that we've discussed before. Similarly, it's really important because of this new network to have a controlling amount of pulse for that new network for a number of security reasons. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Okay.
This new Pulse X is similar to Pulse, it's deflationary. But it's not so necessary that the OA has a controlling amount of it. Mm-hmm. And because it's deflationary, it just means the always it's just going to get like, there's no way of it diluting itself over time.
It is a governance token. So
yeah, but that's the whole point. It's
you
like,
would
why would
think-
you have I mean, you're giving people this power to vote, but then swooping in with enough PulseX so that it's irrelevant what they vote for.
Well, isn't
That
that
doesn't
the
make- that
same
doesn't
as
make
Pulse?
is that why you invested? Did you invest in PulseX to
vote? No.
vote?
No, I
Yeah.
invested it purely
So
to make money.
No, you didn't. You
Hey,
sacrificed. sacrificed for
Oh yeah,
free.
sacrifice for.
hey, on that point of PulseX, on that point, let me just play a clip.
So if you want to participate in the world's largest free airdrop, you should go to pulsex.com right now. PULSEX.com. Hey, it ends in SEX. Nice.
And that just proves my point.
So that's to all the incels out there. I hope you've sacrificed for PulseX because it will end in sex. Hey,
So
Tangent.
I see what. Sorry, you go.
No, go on, mate. I'll go after you.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, I totally agree with what Bloobum's said, and I've run the same thought process through my mind as well. The why would you? Why wouldn't you? And I think it just comes down to that's the way Richard likes to run his projects.
Yeah, it could be. I could be wrong. You know what? I guessed wrong on the Pulse. I thought he wouldn't for the Pulse. So I was wrong on that one, so I'm probably wrong on this one as well.
Do you want to hear my counter? Or actually, Day 43, you had a question for me first, but then I've got a counterpoint, just one counterpoint for why I think he will, or an entity will.
You go for it, mate, because I haven't got a question. I was just going to suggest that we let you listen to the TYRH because we've got a lot more people listening right now, and it's a cracker of a song. And,
keen.
you know,
All right, I'll drop this counterpoint.
Yep.
2 secs. So basically, I think that the purpose of the section at the end of the sacrifice phase that does not compete in the volume bonus is to allow benevolent whale entities to do what was done in the Pulse sacrifice. So if that was not the plan, then that could have just been scrapped and it could have just been bonding curve, boom, done. Like no weird shit at the end with like flat rate not competing crap. That needs to be there. That only needs to be there to allow a whale to come in and just go hard without messing up everyone else's volume bonus.
So what? Just before we go, because what I want to finish this off. So, what makes coins and tokens seem like there's a better opportunity, and that's the unit bias thing. So, if you have a massive supply that is never going to get sold, then it gives you that same mechanic where you can have a really, really low price, so you can go a lot of X's pretty quickly off a really low price point. And people don't feel like they're too late. They can come in, buy it down the track, and they're not going to feel like they're missing out. That's why Shiba gets a lot of attention. And I know I've spoken to people and said, have a look at Hex. They know what I do, and I've told them about Hex, and they feel like they're too late. They want to find the thing that they can get in where the price is like fractions of a cent. That's the mentality of a lot of people out there. They want to feel like they've gotten in early.
Well, I reckon PulseX, the OA will for sure sack for PulseX.
Right.
There's no way it won't. I'm like 99% sure it's going to do it.
Yeah,
we might all get a surprise soon, except for Bluey. You'll be all over it.
you would have called it.
Yeah.
Hey, so Tangent,
And I'll give
this,
you that one if you do.
This and sorry to the guys in the chat. We do have a bit of a delay on when we're talking between us, so that's why we sometimes, both start speaking at the same time. We are on different parts of Australia. We've got you guys, Jexxa and Tangent on the west coast. I'm on the southeast coast, and Sammy is as well. And Bluey, you're up the northeast, aren't you?
We've basically got
Yeah,
every
yep.
corner covered.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
As
I mean,
far apart as
just
you can be, we are.
yeah, like it's for you guys. It's like New York, Florida, LA. Like that's like the distances we're talking here. Yeah. Mango Junkie saying, "Are you kidding me? This is normal." Yeah. No, but that's my reason why. That's my reason why.
We can't listen to each other or give each other space. That's what it is.
Yeah. I thought we were doing pretty well tonight.
Tangent, I think we are as well. Tangent, this is from an artist called J Everything. Now he's sort of just come out of nowhere, really, and he's dropped this cracker of a track, and we've premiered it here tonight. First time it's been out there, and we'll just play it again because we've got a few more people out there.
Yes, please.
Let's keep us.
Let's go.
We can have a bit of a dance while it's on because there's no video to it.
I'm looking this guy up on Spotify.
Sammy dance. Oh.
Yo. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. Yes. Best investment went all in. Whoa. Yeah. And staking, we ballin'. Cop hexing, what's next? Stake stacks to the max. 4 5s and relax. Future me giving thanks. Lil Squid climb the ranks. Unstaking, restaking 80%. Owning my shit, I ain't paying no rent. Feel like a boss in the wait in the bank, 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 bank. TYRH gotta give thanks. Attitude and gratitude is natural for a Hexagon. Hex flexing all thanks to him. After every dip we ascend, up into the right be the trend. By design is why ratification delays. Staking ladder got me heavily paid. Making cheddar every step of the way. Haters tell them it's a scam. They just jealous they ain't getting okay. So many wish they would've take a chance. Join me and take a leap of faith. They will be singing with me today. TYRH. Hex IQ test from the start. Those involved saw what I saw. Picture painted by Richard Hart. Only haters try shitting on. They lacking vision, ain't really smart. Hexagon's the best of men invested in Hex. Just look at the chart. Haters debating, they hating the facts. That is still outperforming them all. Player been driving a bitch in a moped. Now I'm performing a car. Everything around me changed for the better. I'm so glad Sean singing this song. Days of being a bit of broke ass in the past, right where they belong. Yes, yes. So I gotta give thanks to RH for showing the way. I'm feeding the fam. Used to be dark days when I go to sleep. Now I'm dreaming again. Take a look at my staker app. I continue to win. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. Yes. Best investment went all in. Yeah. Whoa. And
What happened?
Love it. I love the all-in comment.
Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. I cop Hex and went all in. Yeah. Whoa. And staking, we ballin'. Take a look at my staker app. Long stake, stay getting fat. In my old days, I be okay. Daily pay me and Hex. Instead of hating, you should buy Hex. Try staking, be a clever man. T-shares be the money printer. Printing money like the government. Haters is dumb and they never get it. On board them and they go quiet. Daily pay, make them see the vision.
Yo, DJ.
Yo, what's happening?
Rugged.
Oh, it's hard to get these
Absolutely.
playing on YouTube.
I absolutely love that Colombian string instrument. It's like a banjo or some shit. Like that's fucking
I think
awesome.
it's guitar.
It's like a little, it's one of those little mini guitars though, right? Like you can tell it just sounds Colombian.
No, I don't think so. I think it's just a normal guitar. It could be.
So,
I love the fact that it's like I thought it was going to be a song where there was like a part of it was a Hex shout out, but it's the whole thing.
yeah.
It's the whole damn thing.
Yep. Being created just for the community. So you probably missed out on this tangent, but Jay Everything didn't want to promote himself or didn't want to put himself out there. Just produced this for the community. Said just get it out and play it, guys. Just that's his thank you to Richard Hart.
Is it on Spotify? Like, what's the name of the track?
TYRH.
Yeah. Crypto Kings.
Say again. Something RH.
Thank you.
TY.
Oh, thank you, YH. Thank you, RH.
Thank you, right?
Because partway through it, I was like, oh, he hasn't shouted out Richard yet. And then I realized he was saying RH. Yeah, nice.
Yep.
Someone
So,
said it was in. That'd be interesting.
it's filthy. Good stuff. It is. I've listened to it so many times. Like I just keep playing it over and over, and tried it in different headphones and different speakers because it's just the bass line in it's awesome.
Yeah, sick.
Hey, my apologies, guys. I had it playing from a local file, and internet is just.
How come you got such crap
And
internet? You're like in.
I don't know.
Internet.
I have no idea, mate. I have no idea. Usually my internet is great, and I noticed it was not very good before the stream, so I plugged in my LAN. So I'm running off LAN, and I've got the top tier of internet as well. So I have no idea what's going on. No idea.
A43, mine's shocking as well. Maybe it's a Melbourne thing because mine's been shocking for a while. Like last 2 streams been terrible.
Yeah, so my apologies to Jay Everything for that. Guys, go look him up on YouTube, Jay Everything, and check it out, mate, because that is, I reckon that's hot.
Yeah, sick.
So whilst we're on community things that are going on, I think we probably need to have a chat about the Daytona car as well.
Yeah.
Attention, what's going on there?
They've met their thing yet? They were pretty
I
close,
think they were pretty damn close.
Yeah, they were like 50 out of 600 last time.
Yeah, they'll get there for sure.
That's amazing, hey? That's a lot of cash to raise. Holy shit.
Yeah. So everyone's chucked in for that. That's a big deal. Like that's going to get in front of a lot of eyeballs.
It's a sport.
One of the guys in one of the videos said they expect 10 million viewers of the first race. He was explaining that in NASCAR, it's like the reverse of the Super Bowl. The most important race that gets the most views is at the start of the season.
You know, I used to think that car racing was like how on earth could that be interesting?
Wait, what?
Yeah, seriously. I was like, all you're doing is watching cars go around. I couldn't think of anything more boring. But then I actually had to, like, I was a video sports journalist for a while, and I had to put together highlights package. So I had to watch it sometimes, and it actually wasn't too bad. It's not as good as AFL or anything, but like,
it's funny what you can get into as humans. Like we'll watch pretty much anything. Some of the I've watched that thing that they do on the Olympics, the Winter Olympics, where they got these little balls that they shuffle the little stick down the. I don't even know what it is. Watch the shit. Yeah,
where the sweeper. Like,
I don't even know how it works, but I'll sit there and watch the shit.
I think it's called curling or hurling. Curling.
Curling.
It's big in Canada. They love that shit.
Curling is the Irish sport.
Yeah.
It's the ice version of lawn bowls, man.
That's it. That's exactly it. Group lawn bowls.
Hey, guys, can I just mention that we're going to have a Melbourne meetup in Melbourne CBD. So anyone who's watching, who's in the Hex, join the Hex Australia chat, and then let us know you're from Melbourne, and we'll send you the link to the Melbourne meetup, 12th of February. We're going into the CBD. We're going to go to a rooftop bar and have some drinks and talk Hex. So everyone's invited if you're in Melbourne.
Sammy, can you flick me the details? I know a lot of people that aren't actually on all the socials that will be over that part of the country would be pretty keen to come along, I would think.
For sure. I'll send them over to you.
You got that coming up, Sammy?
12th of February. Next month.
Nice.
That'll be fun. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely let us know when you tweet that out and we'll smash it out.
Yeah, I will for sure. So, hey, I've also been winning the next Oracle BitFit for the week a lot, even though I haven't been able to join because of the internet. I didn't vote this week. I thought I'd give everyone else a fair go.
Yeah, no, that's fair. I didn't see what happened last week. Did you get the new platform up and everyone's got the new website, or is that a new premiere tonight as well?
No, didn't see it last week.
Oh, okay. Oh, I might have blown Day 43's gig then. 'Cause I know he's been busy working in the background on this one.
Oh, you got to put Vanessa's comment up. That's pretty funny. Oh, why is my sound gone again?
Hey, did everyone see BitFit's dance? Yeah.
Say that again.
Did you guys see BitFit dance of Richard Hart?
No.
So BitFit dances, Peter and Pomp, Peter and Pomp, She does like a sexy dance, you know on Twitter.
I have no idea what's going on.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, she's on Twitter, right? She's called BitFit Dance, and she does all the big names in crypto. She does dances, and then all the guys simp on her.
Oh, did she do a Michael Saylor one?
Yeah, she does them all, right?
I think I do know what you're talking about.
She's never done Richard Hart, and she actually did a Richard Hart one.
No shit.
Yeah, I posted it in our group chat, and I actually commented to her, and I said, most of your dances are really annoying, but I actually like this one.
Yeah, Sammy, I think you're biased though. Like,
and she thanked me. She goes, thanks. That was cool. It's good to see her doing, shit like that and get into our side of crypto.
What did she say about Richard Hart? Did she mention the toilet roll? Did she mention the $27 million for charity? Did she say best person in all of crypto? Yeah,
she did. It was very something. Yeah, she said something along the lines of that. I have to find it and send it to you.
Nice.
Yeah, it was cool.
So is she a Hexagon or she's just a part of the general crypto community?
No, she's a paid.
She gets donations.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yep. Ah, cool.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Actually, a little update on just a quick, not too long, little update on Hedron. He's had to extend when it's going to come out because he's waiting for the audit didn't come back in time, so he's extended it now to the 26th of Feb. So plenty of time to look into that if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
And how will people be getting involved? Like, if people want to be involved, what's the deal? Like, what's the...
Well, you were on when he was on here, yeah? Like you
yes, sorry, I've had a lot going on, so I've kind of forgotten what projects are doing what.
If you got any hex stakes...
Oh, sorry, that's right. Yeah, I remember now. Sorry. So you don't actually have to do anything?
Well, learn it and understand it. That's what you want to do between now and the 26th of Feb. Learn what your options are.
But what I'm saying is there's no like pre-sale or IDO or like, sacrifice phase or anything like that. It's literally just, okay.
Money whatsoever.
Cool.
What options you want to do.
Awesome. Yeah, sorry. I didn't word that question very well. All good.
Like I said, I've been out of the loop for a week. Now, have we discussed things like the bridges being operational? And we're pretty much, as far as we understand, the only missing piece of the puzzle from core infrastructure is the Fixerbot. Is that?
And
that's the final.
He hasn't decided what he's.
But that's an easy one, isn't it?
I don't know. He's going to have to do something with it interesting, or
why?
Comes an inflation.
Yeah, I don't know that you are. I don't think you do.
You guys just reminded me of something. Before you dive too deeply into that, I've got a bit of a rep as being like one of the dissenting hexagons, and so in the essence of maintaining that rep, two things that we have to admit that Richard Hart got wrong was he shat on other projects for not having trustless bridges, and he shat on other projects for not having trustless buy and burn, and then he found out later that neither of those things could be done with current tech, and so. I'm not sure if anyone other than me, it's not that I'm publicizing that, but I think it's important that we keep a balanced approach of like admitting when we're wrong, admitting when our founder is wrong. And so the heat that we gave to like poly, whatever the fuck it is, Matic, for not having trustless bridges, and when we were shitting on Binance for doing like trusted admin key buy and burns, I guess all of that heat was unwarranted.
Yeah.
But go ahead.
So we've gone from Hex, which was all intrinsic to the system, doesn't need oracles, so it doesn't do price calls, no admin keys. So whole box and dice is contained within the code. Now, as we progress into PulseChain and we need to start doing other things in the ecosystem, we're going to need these other services. Whether you love them or hate them, oracles and things like Chainlink and things like the graph, they're super important for a chain to be able to run. If you want to build applications on them that interact with other applications, they need sources of data. It's the way of the world. So we're going on the core things. We should never compromise. Like no admin keys where possible. We should never compromise. But if there's situations where that's just the state of tech, then you have to compromise. We've got to understand that.
Can I just say with the bridges, like having used the Matic bridge, having used the Avalanche bridge, and then having used the Pulse test bridge, the Pulse test bridge kicks ass. It is so simple and so quick and so much easier to use than those other ones. I think, like it's really beautiful design and it goes super, and it was super easy.
Yeah, and so make things as trustless as you can, perform best as you can, like design the tokenomics the way you can and in the best interest of everyone. But hey, you're gonna have to be flexible with things like this.
And
if pushing the limit is going to compromise the security of something, then it might not be worth pushing that limit yet.
No, the point is, just don't use it unless you have to.
Yeah.
Don't need to use the bridge much. We won't need to use it too much, hopefully. So know that it's a security risk when you do use it.
Yeah.
What's everyone complain about? Is it the Matic bridge that everyone takes so long? Everyone says it takes so long to transfer their funds.
It can sometimes.
Yeah. Well, if Pulse is so quick, then that's a real good feature about it. Yeah, it's going to attract people.
And look, we don't know the technical details about what is different between the Polygon bridge and the Pulse bridge. We don't know those nuances. We don't have an insight into that. So I think we should probably not comment too much because we just don't know. We just don't know
about anything else.
Oh yeah,
well, we should at least say it. We should at least say
on
like
the technology. I'm purely basing my comments on what Richard himself has said.
Yeah. No, that's true. What you said is true, Tangent. Like, he did go pretty hard on those things not being completely admin key free or trustless. And like you said, as it turns out right now, and look, there might be a way to do it, right? And from what I understand, it's just that there's papers on this stuff, but it just no one has actually put in the time and effort to try and get it done because the benefit,
and he
the
wants
cost
reliable,
benefit in
tested,
doing that.
Yeah.
But the benefit of doing it,
I think
like
his
you
path
have to
is
put
correct.
so much time and effort into developing that sort of tech because it's cutting edge stuff. And I don't like, this is what I've noticed from just more of a business perspective. I've noticed that RH tends to, he likes to go with what is tried and tested. Like that's what he wants to go with. Like even you think about even the Hex contract, he didn't go with the newer ERC. He went with the tried and tested, ERC 20 because he knew that they'd been around for ages. It worked, and that's what he was interested in. So what we see, and this is one of the criticisms I have for when I have heard Eric Wall talk about, negatively about Hex and Pulse and stuff. It's what Richard's trying to do is build the best thing he can build with stuff that works. He's not trying to do something that's going to break and then everyone's screwed, right? He wants something that works. So that criticism that I heard Eric dish out to him it was a while back now that, he just didn't think that it was cutting edge enough, like Pulse was not doing anything, It's like, yeah, but it's going to work.
Yeah.
It's going to function the way it's supposed to, and everyone is going to feel safe and secure in that network because it's going to be like Ethereum, but with some. So yeah, that's Just my comment on
yeah,
that.
I want to sort of lean into that a little bit more because the Hex took well over 2 years to develop. So to create something from scratch, test it all, do all the audits, all that sort of stuff, it takes a lot of time, a lot of detail, and you can do everything right and still get something wrong. So that's why with all these new things that we're bringing across, they are things that have been running for a while. They've been tested. They've been audited. So Uniswap. What else we got? I'm not sure what bridge technology he's used there, but he's bringing things across that need a couple of settings changed. So everything's getting forked. Now, Hedron, that's something completely new that Alex is going to have to do a buttload of testing on that before anyone's got ultimate faith in its delivery.
Oh, it is. It's up. I'm testing it now.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying he can get everything right, but still have a flaw. He thinks he's got everything right, he can still have a flaw. And I'm not. That's not far. That's just.
No, hang on. You audit it and you have everyone look over it with a fine-tooth comb. And from what I've heard, everyone said it's like really clean code and it's really...
Okay, I'm not shit canning him. What I'm saying is, if you invent something from scratch,
did you do? You've got it on testnet. You've got it audited. What other tests?
And that's so. Yeah, exactly. So you run it in the wild. That's all you can do, because that's when shit breaks. Is when it's running in the wild.
But once it's up, that's it. It's no admin keys.
Yeah. So, and I want to make this point about, because we're copying a lot of this shit at Liquid Loans as well, but all we're doing is exactly what Richard's doing with Uniswap, is we're taking something that's been tried and tested and changing a couple of settings. So all this talk about audits and things like that, they're important, but they're not the be-all and end-all.
I mean, to an extent...
Things running in the wild.
From what I've heard, to an extent, an audit is a PR exercise, because... Yeah. Ultimately, like, it sounds like the developers end up having to teach the auditors what they're bloody.
I would rather use something that is you can watch it and has seen it being tested in the wild, because it's amazing how people you can push out code, think it's right, and users just do dumb shit and break stuff, or there is an exploit. Or
I don't think that means that an audit is necessarily not like useful. Just because someone writes code, they're the best person who's going to understand the code, you know. So they're going to need to explain that to the auditor. The auditor goes through it, and like once he understands it,
to an extent,
then he goes. Once he goes through, look, if you had a dev or a that could just look at the code, and they're working for an auditor, right, and they can just look at the code and understand it. I'm telling you, they're not working for an auditor, dude. They're working for themselves if they're on that level.
Yeah,
to be able to just look at code in that way and just read it and understand it, that level of dev ability is not someone who's working like.
Yeah, but the thing
they're not a runt working.
But think about
not giving shit to people working as for auditors, but you're not like the lower level dev working at an audit. Do you know what I mean? Like you're someone.
No, but hang on, you could be right to an extent, because like if you're a really good dev, you've probably got a job with a like.
Yeah, but the point.
The people who ended up getting the auditors' jobs are not necessarily
That's correct. Yes, but the point I'm saying is that having the dev explain that to the audit guy so that they can understand it, right, and then go through it, and then do what they need to do, like go and check things, run the checks that they're going to check, probably the exact same checks that the
internal would use.
Yeah, they're running, but to have that second set of eyes is important.
It's important. Absolutely.
It's important, and
Absolutely.
but like I agree with Jexxa that regardless of what you do, especially with these, maybe to a lesser extent Liquid Loans, because it has been something that's been run on other things, but when you're talking about new, it's going to be.
It's going to be audited before it's released?
Only because everyone wants to.
It can't be audited until Pulse is launched, because its audit relies on Pulse being launched first.
So we're going to. The only things that are going to come out of that order
go into
probably
Liquid
half
Loans
a dozen.
chat, mate. I don't know.
Half a dozen lines of code that will get changed to be specific for the network, which is exactly what PulseX is doing. That's all it's.
Yeah.
So you're right. It's a PR exercise.
So this
No,
stuff
no.
is
Yeah.
The point I'm trying to make is that this stuff is all experimental. Like we were talking, Tangent and I were talking about, what's it called? The cash thing, the Tornado Cash thing, a few weeks back, right? And there were problems with that. Now that is a legit, like, group of people that are developing legit stuff, but that has problems as well. I mean, they all have problems. They're going to have problems, and that's why, not being 100% like this is 100% like fine. You can't have that mentality, and that's why I respect about Richard Hart taking things that have worked and then improving that. That's what I like that.
How about this, guys? How about this for an exercise? Like, okay, in retrospect, it sounds like a really, really big part of the Hex contract was giving Bitcoin people that free claim. That was a massive part of that contract. Do you think, like, it was worth it for the amount of Bitcoiners that actually free claimed?
Yes, hell yes. Hard yes.
300,000 Bitcoin. 300,000 Bitcoins claimed. And hindsight's 2020. You can never know who was going to claim, who wasn't going to claim. But it was worth, I think.
Also,
there would have been
Bitcoin holders are OGs. Like,
there would have been a massive amount of time, like, put into all of that extra code for that. Like, it sounds like to me, from what I understand, that was like a massive part of that contract, and that was a massive part of their audits as well.
Bluey, in my opinion, even just for Richard to be able to flex on everyone and be like, yo, Bitcoin holders, you could have had this for free and now it's worth X. Even if no one claimed, just that flex, so that people can't accuse it of being like, it's not really, you're not really very able to accuse it of being a scam when the only people we're allowed to claim were the people who are the most maximalist. Do you get what I mean? Am I explaining that well? I thought it was a baller move. I thought it was an excellent move.
It's very, very polite of him to do that. It's very polite of him to do that for Bitcoiners.
He's a businessman as well.
No, but think about it. He's like, he put it out there like, you guys can claim this for free. It's like, he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to do that, but he did it.
Polite. You can't call it polite. I mean, it's nice.
Freemium.
I feel like it's polite. It was
strategic. It was strategic. He wanted to get the most OG people in the space into Hex, and also force them to see how mad the gains are going to be.
Yeah. And he gave a component. He says, you'll take more away from the OA if the quicker you claim.
That's what I don't think a lot of people realised is the OA would have ended up with a lot less if everyone had a claim. So the system was designed thinking everyone's going to take free money, aren't they?
That's it.
Didn't play out that way. So, but that's
I think it was game theoretical that, say, put yourself in the mind of a maxi who dislikes the idea of there being an altcoin. They're stuck between saying, if I claim it, I'm supporting the project because it's going to show up as more Bitcoin that was eager to get the Hex. And if I don't claim it, it's more Hex in Richard's pocket. So you basically, these two things work against each other. It basically creates a lose-lose for anyone who is like a toxic maxi. So I found that hilarious. And I saw some live streams where maxis were talking about it. And when it clicked in their mind of how he had structured it, they were like, motherfucker. Like, you could see the look on their face when they realize they either have to claim it or like they can't win. There's no win. There's no way that they can have a win.
Yeah.
They either claim it or they don't claim it, but either way, it's a win.
1 year lock. That 90% 1 year lock. Genius. Yep.
How much did you guys lock for you? Did you guys claim on Bitcoin you had?
Yeah, I think I didn't quite understand how it worked at the time, and I know I had a couple there that just, I think it came out with a default for 1 year, and I just left it.
So you didn't make big payday?
No, I just made big payday on them all.
Do you guys remember that if you claimed at the very, very, very start and only did it for the minimum lock, you actually missed big payday? There was a day. There was on the very first day, if you claimed and did the minimum lock, you were ending on big payday, so you didn't actually get big payday.
Oh, I didn't realize.
So you had to add a day if you were claiming on the first day.
I might have had one, like a test one that I'd done that may have fallen into that category. But it was an insignificant.
I just did. You know what I did? I think I read somewhere that the best way to get the most out of this game is if you do a little bit above the average. And at the time, the average was 4.5 years, I think. So I just did 5 years.
Well, I don't even know what we're at now, but we're up around 6 years or something. I don't even know what it is now.
I didn't free claims. I didn't have any Bitcoin.
My biggest regret, and Richard spelled this out. He said, free claim your Bitcoin, sell it for ETH, go in the AA. And I wasn't there. I wasn't there in my mind at that point in time to be able to give up the Bitcoin bag.
Do you know why, Jexxa? The reason I didn't follow that advice is at the time I believed it to be bias. I thought, of course he is going to suggest doing that because that's the best for him and his project. So I didn't believe it was unbiased advice, and so I did not take that advice. The only regret that I had was that not consolidating my Bitcoin into smaller number of addresses.
True.
Like I had just all these ridiculously small claims because my Bitcoin was so fragmented across like all these different
mine was
addresses.
the same. Yeah, it was a joke. I've still got one sitting there that I'll never end. I don't think. So.
Oh wait, with PulseChain, it might be the fee will be small enough to end it.
I don't think it's going to be worth it, man.
Even on PulseChain, damn.
They've just been eroded. They've been eroded that much.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
going to cost nothing. It's going to cost essentially.
It's going to cost next to nothing, but it might already be eroded down to nearly nothing as well.
Might be able to get a 6-pack or something. You know. But the one thing I did learn out of all of that is you got to pay attention. And this is so. Day 43 brought up that little message from Richard a moment ago. You got to pay attention. Listen to what he's saying. We all heard him call the tops and things like that. So there's a lot of wisdom that if you're not paying attention, you'll miss. You'll gloss over it.
Foreshadowing. Okay, guys. Look, we've got a new segment that we're going to run. So we're just all going to hop out for a second.
Lots of plum trees, a sheep, a two, a kangaroo, a clothesline out the back.
That's a knife. All I had was me undies on.
Hello. Oh, it's me all by myself. Okay, so our new segment this week, guys, is called Hexagon Legends. So we had a guy from Melbourne, that's where I live, who basically tweeted out, Aria, shut up. That's it. I'm biting the bullet, selling my property investment and going all in on Hex. And then he tags a whole lot of us. And his house there, you can see in the photo, valued at $550,000. That's a lot of money and that's a lot of Hex. And his name is the Crypto Dash. That's Crypto DASCH. And you can follow him on Twitter because he's doing some really cool things for Hex. So, yeah, he is our Hexagon legend.
Awesome.
Woo!
That's very cool.
Hexagon. What a legend. Think about it. You sell your house and you buy Hex. I'm pretty sure the Motley Investor did that
I think he
a
done
while
something
back.
similar. Yep.
You know what? I reckon in years to come, it will be seen as perfect timing.
He's in the chat too. Hey,
that house actually looked really nice for only $500,000.
Let's have another look at it.
So how many Hex can you get for that?
Looks modern, nice.
Someone work it out.
600,000 Aussie dollars. How much is a
Maybe just times by 5 at 20. If it was at 20. Oh,
No,
sorry.
it's
There's
Aussie.
the a conversion to Australia as well.
I'll check it out. Hang on.
There's a few T-shares there.
Aussie.
Oh, look, he's going to have some. It's an investment. He's going to have some capital gains to pay. He's going to pay the agent. We don't know. We don't know how much Hex he can buy, guys.
26.6 cents. So let's say 600,000 times point.
It's a hell of a lot of Hex.
That's like 159,600 Hex.
Oh, Day 43's got a good point. It depends how much equity he has in the house. Like he might.
No, it has to be more than 100.
Yeah, no, I did.
Sorry,
wrong there.
tangent.
Hang on.
It has to be more than 100,000 because he's got Hex is less than $1. So
I multiplied rather than divided.
sorry, tangent. You were saying.
So
Yeah, I was just saying that you're right. It might be. He might be
million.
basically saying like net all in with what he has after paying off the actual debt. If there's money owing on the house, so.
Yeah,
It might not be that full amount of 550.
No, we're just like giving a round mark.
And there's capital. There'll be capital gains.
It's like 2.2.
So,
million
so maybe in about 3 months you'll be able to buy it back and still have some change, eh?
How many T-shares would you get for that? 2.2 million Hex.
Nice.
Say 2. What is it? 200 and...
Good
So-
stuff, Sammy. Do
so
we have?
people-
I'm pretty
Sorry.
sure we're going to have more Hexagon legends. Coming through. So, guys, on YouTube, or not on YouTube, sorry, on Twitter, on the Twitter, if you've got something special that you've done, just tag Hexagon legend.
Like a
on
hashtag,
Twitter.
hashtag Hex Legend.
Hashtag
Hex Legend.
Hexagon legend.
Okay.
Hexagon legend.
So, yeah,
And,
or if you see
the-
someone in the community that's done something pretty special, let us know.
Send it through to Sammy.
That's like 109 T-shares. So if he stakes it out like 10 years or more, that's like 330 T-shares.
Mm.
Nice.
Amazing.
Yo.
Good job, mate. Good job.
Good
I
on
know
you.
he's a local. He's a local.
He's a Melbourne boy.
He's a Melbourne
Not
boy.
anymore. He sold his house. He's probably gone.
That's
gone
his
to Queensland.
investment. He's got a nice hot rod too that he's got for sale too, guys. Check out his
He's got a
Twitter.
Valiant.
He was willing to accept Hex for that too, I believe.
He's selling
Yeah.
something as well. He's fully
What
leaving.
model Valiant? That was a V something. Was that a VH Valiant? What
Oh
was
no,
it?
it's a 1968 Chrysler Valiant.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and he's putting that into Hex too.
Wow, selling a lot.
Yeah.
All in.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Nice.
How much is he selling that for?
He's in the chat. Ask him. He hasn't got a price on it. But he's
Yeah.
putting it into
Find out
Hex.
how many Hex he wants for it. Maybe we can line it up in the Daytona.
Yeah.
He accepts Hex. Gary was impressed. He says
It's the wrong,
That's
wrong
right.
model. This is a straight 6. Oh, it's a Hemi. Is it a Hemi?
What's a Hemi?
straight 6
Hemi's
Valiant.
the engine. Is it 245 or a 265 Hemi?
30 grand
Okay.
Australian, 43.
So that's like about $5 US.
Nice.
True story. Are we doing bitch kits this week? Everyone? Not that I but
We are. Actually, I just want to... That was a little bit of a flippant joke, but Aussie Hexagons are getting a double win at the moment because the US dollar's cracking up against the Aussie dollar. So when you look at your earnings in US dollars, you're getting an extra little bonus on the back of that at the moment.
How much is
Nice.
the Aussie dollar to?
It's $1.40.
Oh no, the other way around. How much? Is
Oh, well, now you got me.
I'm with Bluey. I always do it as like, I think the last time I checked it was 0.71. So you're saying it must be lower than that now. I'll just pull it
Yeah.
up.
I reckon it could do an all-time high as well.
1 to 1.4.
This reckon's 0.712.
71.
So
Yeah.
that's the same as what I saw at the last time I looked it up, like
Yeah, so
a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it went down in a bit of a trough, and then I think it's going to make new all-time highs.
Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. There was like a big like V bottom down to
It's been
almost
really
70,
shit. Now it's just mediocre.
70 and a half or some shit. Yeah, yeah. No, that's cool.
I went up to $1.70 not so long ago. So if you get something like that, hexagons, that's a big win.
Yeah.
Nice.
And that's not just Hex, that's your entire crypto portfolio, because we typically look at everything in dollars, right? Like in US dollars, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, badass.
Yeah, it's nice going that way. It's not.
Yeah,
nice.
It's tough when you're bringing fresh stuff in, isn't it? Yeah, double-edged sword. So day 43, this bitch tits. What's the go? Have we released the new site, or are we ready to roll on that?
Just 1 second, mate, before we go there.
I gotta get, man. You have stepped up the production quality tonight.
Man, that is awesome.
Yeah, so bitch tits of the week. The website is where is it? There we go. It is www.titbit.ch. You can go there and vote, but before we go and vote, let's see who's
I'm not quite ready yet. Give me a second.
not quite ready.
Yeah.
So I did mention at the start of the stream that Steph predicted 17 cents last week. He predicted 17 cents, but where are we now? We're 19. He still might be the winner. Depends on what other people have put out there.
You're gonna have to drag it out for a bit longer, mate. I'm really far behind here.
Yeah. Hang on. Let me just close this. Yeah. So, guys, that hang on. I've got something from Crypto Kool-Aid. Just give me a second. Maybe I can bring this up. What is this? No. Did I get something from Crypto Kool-Aid? Oh, here we go. Guys, just give me 1 second. It's going to take me a couple of seconds as well, so just bear with me, please. Kool-Aid is working on the Daytona 500 artwork at the moment. So he's just sent through some pics. So give me a second and I'll download them and I'll see if I can just bring them up on the screen here, hey? Got that.
I can't find that TitBit URL.
It's www.titbit.ch.
Yeah, it's not coming up.
Maybe https://www.
Come up for me. Oh, it's TitBit
Okay.
YOLO site.com.
Yeah, it redirects to that.
Yeah.
Redirect because it's a free site. So
TitBit.ch works. No. So do we fill that out now or?
you can
everyone get their votes in while I'm messing around here for next week if you like.
and while you're doing that, let me just bring up this this image here. Let me see if I can make it a bit bigger. Look at that. That is our friend, a friend of the show, Crypto Kool-Aid, who's working on that's the Daytona 500 artwork.
Cool. What about the sides? Can we see the sides? They need more hex and shit on the sides.
Does it say hex?
Looks pretty sick though. Looks pretty sick.
It says hex, does
It says hex on there.
Should be
Says
hex.com.
zoom in a bit.
Should be hex.com, I reckon.
It says hex.com over the top here.
Oh yeah.
And just remember, these are the angles that we're seeing, but you know, there are, you know, they might be limited in where they can put things as well. have to bear that in mind. They might be very, very restricted where they can actually put things. And on top, there'll be they're going to have this here, this
bhexrich.com.
bhexrich. I don't know. That must be someone's. URL. But we've got hex.com. Yep, it's beautiful. Very nice.
Has anyone gone to bhexrich and see what it's all about there?
It's nothing.
Nothing.
No, just
Soon to be.
yeah.
Do you know what? I don't even know if I was allowed to show that. It got sent to me now during the stream. I assumed, guys, if anyone ever sends me anything during the stream, I assume you want me to show it. You know, I assume you want me to show it.
Oh,
you're
probably going to regret that. You're going to get dick pics and all.
I bloody hope not.
All right, I'm ready to roll.
Tip picks we can.
Let's go.
Picks we can live with. So Jexxa, have you got the details up?
Yep. You need a shared screen, don't you? Let's do that. Okay, very close one, and I only just pipped it right at the last minute while we've been on stream, I believe. We've had a little bit of price creep on stream. So how am I going to say this one? I stubbed my crypto.
Stub my crypto.
Well done. I stubbed my crypto. You are bitch tits for the week.
Nice one. Who's that?
Let's see. Pretty close grouping. So honourable mention to Optimus Kevtron, and Steph was in the running as well.
I'm always way too much of an optimist.
Yeah. What else? Where's our... Oh, Sammy, you didn't vote. And Novak Djokovic, he was way off the mark down here. Bluey, I think, is... Oh, I didn't vote. Hang on. Yep, I think Bluey, you're...
Steph was on. He's probably closer.
Yeah.
Steph was on last week.
So
Okay.
have we actually got I stubbed my crypto or Optimus Kevtron on stream here?
Hello, Kevtron. I stubbed my crypto. Are you in chat? Please show yourself. I don't think they are.
I reckon that's one of the coolest names I've seen in a while.
Yeah. Oh, look. Optimus Kevtron's showing his face. He's in the chat. He says, yep. Congratulations,
right.
Optimus Kevtron.
Yep, Optimus Kevtron is the he's bitch tits of the week. Congratulations, fella. Congratulations. Let's have a look.
Let's make sure final call for a stub my crypto. Definitely Optimus.
Yep, it's definitely Optimus. Optimus Kevtron, bitch tit of the week. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
You're in a unique group of people. Well done.
We haven't kept a list of all the winners, have we?
No, we haven't.
There is a record on Discourse Syndicate each week. So
Steve John said it's an honor.
We could go back and check that, I guess.
Hey guys, I'm gonna have to go. Well, I have to get up work early tomorrow. I was like falling asleep today in my chair, so I better get last to bed. I got an early start. But good to see you all.
Thanks for joining us, Sammy.
Thanks, Sammy. Thank you.
See you soon.
Send me the details for the party in.
I will.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me, guys. See ya.
Cool.
See you, Sammy.
Oh, that's a lot quieter, isn't it?
I think we had a bit of white noise coming from.
Her mic sounded terrible when she was speaking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So did you guys see? We did an Italian stream on Saturday night.
No. Oh,
You didn't see that?
You did an
Did another one with the Italian boys and Gabbro Mastro. You did a stream with me, Bloobum, with Gabbro one time, He speaks English as well as Italian. But he is, in my mind, he is the most knowledgeable and the most well prepared like Italian hexagon that there is out there, making videos about PulseX, understands all the little details, knows all about it. You know, a few times in that stream I was able to throw over to him and just say, could you explain it, because I don't have the words to explain the technical details, and he knows all about it, man. So shout out to Gabro if he's watching. He's got his channel that's all in Italian though. Everything he does is in Italian.
We take it for granted because we speak English that there's so much content being produced, and we can absorb that really quickly. But it must be hard for these guys that are in non-English speaking countries and their English is not that great. Like, it'd be very hard to absorb the information at the rate that you need to with what's going on.
Yeah,
especially
it's
like
so important to have
or something like that.
It's so important to have like streamers who are streaming in other languages. You know, I mean, I really believe that. And you know, there's not many countries that need things like Hex more than Italy. Like they need Hex bad. You know, the people in Italy need Hex real bad. They need it.
Pretty diabolical over there at the moment, is it?
I mean, look, it's tough everywhere, but they just have like they're just so far gone with their politics. You know, I don't think anything's gonna politically. I don't think anything's gonna save them. It's too hard. It's too hard. And now you add the extra layer of complexity when you've got the EU, and then you've got the ECB. So they're controlling the currency, the euro. So it just makes things really tough. Like back in the day, they could inflate their own currency much in the same way that like Australia is able to do that, you know, and makes your currency worth less against others or whatever. But now they don't even have that trigger. They don't even have that ability anymore. And, you know, they're a very old, you know, the average age is quite old in Italy. There's a lot of people who, you know, people just wait to get the pension over there, you know? So they need Hex. They really need Hex in Italy badly.
And how are they going? Are they getting good numbers on the streams? And
oh, look, it's still very much early days. We've only done a couple, you know. We're still in the hundreds, you know. We're just, you know, we're basically at the very, very start.
Yep. So I guess that's a call out to anyone in the community that speaks a bit of Italian, thinks they can help out, and that's all you got to do is seed it over there. Get enough people with enough knowledge so they can grow a bit of a base over there, and then it'll go like wildfire on its own merit over there. But probably just need a little bit of a bootstrap. Yeah, that's it. Absolutely. They just need to, you know, we need to get the ball rolling over there. Which, you know, give it time. It's, you know, when you have it, like we all listen to Richard say, guys, go out there and start YouTube channels, talk about Hex. We listened to that and we all took it on board and wanted to contribute, but they're not hearing that message, you know, because they're just not hearing it. So they are missing out. And I've wondered whether it would be worthwhile having his streams like someone translate the streams. Well, I think they did try and switch on the subs, the captions and all that. In other languages. So hopefully that's working. I can imagine you'd get a few mixed messages with that coming up.
Yeah, it's never like the same. You just want to be able to listen to stuff, You just want to be able to just flick it on and listen to it. And if you had some stuff in, you know, but I mean, it's a big job to get that done. And, you know, we'll see. I think that would be a worthwhile thing, but not just in Italian, but like in other languages as well. You know, the languages that need it the most with the biggest populations. You know, I mean, think about it. You've got the Germans doing it in German. You've got
Mhm.
you've got a Spanish hex stream on Discourse Syndicate now. So that's great because that covers so many countries. Spanish. I mean, you've got like a fair bit of South America. You know, a lot of the US. You know, some of the US know Spanish, and you've got Spain, of course. But I think, India, that's right. We got places like China, India, Russia. All of these places have huge populations, and if we had like streamers in those languages, like doing consistent stuff and putting the word out there, I think we could punch through a bit harder.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I was going to say, someone's just put in chat, how are the Hex Asians guys going? 'Cause I know they stream in English, but do they then do streams in other languages?
I think they might. I think they might. Yeah, I'm not sure though. I'm not sure. The ones that I've seen have always been in English, but I think having something in Chinese is like a no-brainer. You know, not even for the people in China, because it's questionable whether they'd even like get access to it, but to all the Chinese speakers outside, like just around the world.
Yeah,
Did still a lot.
That the go.hex.com was blocked in China. I think I heard that. Somewhere.
Yeah, I think Richard said that.
Probably isn't everything by default blocked?
Yeah. Everyone just uses VPNs, don't they?
You need they need to be whitelisted, basically. So everything is just blocked unless it's whitelisted. That's my understanding of how it works. Could be wrong. You don't want to get caught using a VPN though. In China, get caught using a VPN, you're probably going to get in trouble. Yeah.
I've no idea.
Yeah.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I'm sure loads of people would do though. Come on,
Oh yeah. I think majority of people do, and especially you've got a bunch of expats over there as well that would all be doing it for sure.
Yeah.
So have we got a number on like how much that 10,000 PulseX per dollar has degraded since when was it? The
I think
10th?
it shows. I'll have a look. I think it does actually
15 days.
Does show you on the site, I believe.
I saw one of those calcs for Pulse, so not PulseX, original Pulse, that said the price now is $1, like equivalent rate.
1 for 1.
1 for 1, yeah. Just
10,000. That's a 10,000.
That's on Pulse, you're saying?
On Pulse, yeah.
Yeah. So current rate at the moment for 10,000 points on PulseX is $2.18. So you're over 100% worse off at the moment.
And we're about 4,810 PulseX points per dollar at the moment. So still good. 4,810.
Yep.
That's what I've got. I mean,
yeah.
I could be wrong. Might be a day off. I'm not sure.
Yeah, if you're running late, you want to get on that real quick.
But that's not too bad. I mean, that's easy.
That's fine. That's not that bad.
Yeah.
That's easy to make up.
Yeah.
Like you're only going to do an X and
that's a double.
Yeah,
that's a double.
With all these people who have said they want to swap Pulse X for Pulse, just grabs like Pulse X sounds like it'll probably dump a bit right after the fall.
Yeah, I've been thinking about the game mechanics behind that, and I think if people are using it for that, there's going to be a transfer for sure. Well, I can't say for sure, but
you'd have to have something to pick it up with, either Pulse or X.
Okay, all right. Here's something that's probably worth a bit of a chat. How long do you think the window is going to be where there's price?
Until things stabilize?
No, until there's a price being injected into the network.
Until the bridge.
2 or 3 days?
Right. So how long until the bridge is there?
My theory is that's going to be a lot less than what people think.
2 or 3
Not because...
days? No?
All you need is one exchange to list it.
Oh, yeah, if an exchange lists it.
So there's things that we can control as a community, like when the bridge launches, when the DEX is live, things like that. There's things that are out of our control.
I mean, we're assuming that we haven't got any exchanges coming, and that it's going to have to wait for all of that USDC that Richard has at the moment is going to, or whatever the SAC address has, is going to be bridged over as onto the Pulse side. And at that point, it will have a more meaningful price.
So, Jexxa, you're saying that there's potentially exchanges that have sacrificed, and the second that anyone has access to their Pulse, the second that anyone has access, they're going to have access to their Pulse as well. And once they have access to their Pulse, they own the keys of it. They can sell it, on their exchange. They can list it and sell it.
And this is the way the course of the conversation went with, I can see one of the guys in chat we were talking about this with. So they may not have sacrificed. If they did, great. That's good that an exchange is sacrificed. But if they have...
Richard's he's not talking like anyone that he knows of any exchanges that have done that.
Why would... Yeah. And that's what I'm saying. But regardless of whether they're sacrificed or not, they're going to have Pulse. Now, it's going to be a small amount.
Why would you say they would definitely have it? I don't understand.
It's a freemium.
Sorry?
They hold ETH, so they're going to have Pulse.
And the exchange?
Yeah.
You mean just for whatever ETH they have?
Yeah.
That's bugger all, though. It's going to be like a million.
Oh, no, that's exactly what I'm saying. It may not... It depends on the size of the exchange, depends how much ETH is in their control, but they are going to have some. And that's assuming no one's done any sacrifices. Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like that, you think that may not be a reality, but a lot of these exchanges will have some already in their possession. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's going to happen or what. I'm just saying that there's things that are out of our control.
I'll be so surprised if some exchanges haven't sacrificed. I'll be surprised.
Really?
I expect that
it would make sense. Yeah.
Maybe not some of the bigger ones, but some of the smaller ones.
Yeah.
Like some of the smaller ones who want to get their name out there and say, hey, come to us and buy Pulse. You can come buy from us. Why wouldn't they do it even as a marketing tactic,
Oh, yeah, fair call.
Yeah.
But,
and I don't know, I was trying to, because we were discussing, so what was the best play if you wanted to get Pulse? If you didn't already have Pulse, what's the best play? And we're trying to think, walking through it all logically and saying, okay, well, if the bridges aren't enabled and we want to get it, how long do we think we've got before we can get it, and what sort of ratios, how we're going to know how the ratios are going to work, and just trying to step it through. And that's ultimately where we arrived, was this could be, it could be happening a lot faster than what we think in terms of price coming into the network.
The best play if you want Pulse now is to buy Hex.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Come on, really.
Especially at these prices, at these prices, like sub 20 cents. It's Hey, we're getting a call for some TA, mate, from the Mango Junkie.
Okay.
Sorry to put you on the spot there, buddy.
No, that's cool. I just saw a video of a guy doing acro yoga with his girlfriend and his dog. The shit was madness. So let me just get my head straight. And
that means that Bluey's going to have to step up his game now, because he only done it with his missus. So.
I'm done with the dog.
Absolute madness. I'll send you.
How did see the dog came in?
Can you show that video? I've got to say, I'm curious. I'm intrigued right now.
You know what? Wait 1 second.
Is it YouTube?
Okay, it's not. I might be able to. 1 sec. Let's just see if.
I'm intrigued. Where does the dog fit in?
We had a dog in ours as well.
Hey, while you're doing that tangent, we've got a question. Do you think the OA will bridge eHex to create an eHex hex pair? How would that affect the liquidity on the ETH side?
I think he's got plenty to bridge if he wants to, without having to take out of any liquidity that he's providing, if he is.
Yeah, I think I've made my comments known on this before. I reckon that will be one of the deepest pools. That's how you bind the price together.
We were talking about this last week, Bluey, I think, or the week before, about like I think that there's going to be a liquidity pool. I mean, I don't know exactly how that's going to play out, but I think look, there's going to be no shortage of hex and eHex, and why wouldn't you do that? Like, it makes sense to do it, but you know.
So the piece of the puzzle I'm not 100% on. So if you have a pool of eHex and USDC, which already exists and will probably continue to exist, whether that's brought across on, I assume it'll stay some on ETH and some on Pulse. Then you have on the Pulse chain, you have Hex or pHex and USDC. So you've got both of the assets pooled with a US pair. If you have that as a low liquidity pool on each side, but then have a massive pool of eHex and Hex, does that still allow the price to move up? Will it allow the price of both hexes to move up rapidly, but at the same time, just by having lower liquidity on the USDC pair? So
up or down. As soon as you have liquidity, you can go both ways.
Yeah. So can we keep the mechanism we've got now, which is lower liquidity, which gives us volatility but gives us price increases, and bind the price of them to the two hexes together in a deeper pool? Because I understand that Uniswap's going to route between the pools. So does that deeper pool temper the lower liquidity?
Do you mean PulseX is going to route between the pools? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, well, Uniswap or PulseX, yeah. So it's if you try and push the price on the USDC pair, so you're buying from that pool, it will go into the hex to hex pair, but I guess you're only swapping USD. This is what I'm not sure about how that will play out.
You know what? That USDC that goes over onto the Pulse side, I'm not sure people are gonna. Like, I've been really trying to play this out, like whether people will just treat it as USDC, or whether, you know, I don't think USDC. I mean, who knows if the USDC company will rug it or whatever. You know what I mean? But other people have been mentioning what's going to happen is that he's going to grab all that USDC from Ethereum, bridge it over, and that's going to be the real, because that's the real deal. Yeah.
I totally agree with that. Yeah, so I'm not saying you would. Yeah, so I'm saying you'd have a USDC pair on the eHex pair and the pHex pair. I think you still need both of those.
Of ETH USD on both sides.
Yeah. I've bridged over USDC. Yeah. So you get that price. You can establish your price, but if you want the two assets to find parity and keep parity, then you need to have a deep pool of those two assets. So that
hex to hex,
Yep.
So that people can arbitrage between them and.
Yeah, that's right. So you could have that pool so deep that you couldn't push the price of them apart. But what I don't understand then is does that temper the USDC price as well? That's the
only
bit I don't
thing
understand.
that would be the costing of the bridging, in terms of how much people are arbitraging.
There's going to be a cost for whatever happens on ETH, and that's going to be, you know, when the arbitrage happens, that's going to be taken into account.
But understand that doesn't have to be on the ETH chain though. So you can bridge across eHex and EUSDC.
So if you have a really deep pool on the ETH the ETH USDC on the Pulse chain to Hex,
Yeah.
have that really deep, and have the Hex to Hex pair really deep, and then it doesn't matter so much on the ETH chain, or
Well, that would be a different arbitrage opportunity then, because you would have to bridge across to, or you'd have to have assets.
Yeah, if you want to get rid of your eHex, right, and you want to get the hex on the Pulse chain, there's going to be a cost to doing that. Whereas if you want to sell your hex on the Pulse chain for the bridged version of eHex, then that's going to be not very expensive to do. You'll be able to do that very cheaply on the Pulse network. But that's what I'm talking about, where there's going to be a cost for people, like the arbitrage opportunity. There's always going to be a cost to doing that on the ETH side if you're, going from ETH to Pulse. That's always going to be an extra cost.
But Jexxa's point is that you can do all of that on the Pulse side, and never.
No, you can't, because if your eHex is on,
listen, because he's bridging over the ETH USDC onto Pulse. You're actually trading ETH USDC over on Pulse. So any arbitraging you do, you can just do on the Pulse side.
No, day 43 is correct.
No, you have to bring, if you want to get rid of, if you don't want your eHex and you want to sell it, right, you have to bridge that across to the Pulse and then sell the bridged version for the Pulse version of Hex. Right, that's
yeah. So, but okay.
Yeah,
So you're both talking about slightly different things. So you can have the Pulse pairs, Pulse Hex and bridged over USDC, and eHex and bridged over USDC on the Pulse chain. But as soon as there's a liquidity pool of USDC and ETH on the ETH chain, there's going to be that arbitrage. No, on the ETH chain, there's going to be an arbitrage opportunity. But it's
It's so confusing.
It is.
My point is, right, that on the Pulse chain, you'll be able to swap the Pulse Hex with the ETH Hex. Bang, 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 bang.
Yep,
right?
yeah, I agree. Yep.
And on the Pulse chain, you'll be able to swap ETH USDC with Hex. Blah, 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 blah.
Yep, agreed.
So you can do all that arbitraging on the Pulse chain. And you actually don't need to bridge back over.
No, but what I'm saying, no, you're right. But what I'm saying is there'll still exist an arbitrage opportunity. Whatever you do on the Pulse chain, do exactly what you're talking about. But over here on ETH, if there's a pool over here, there's an arbitrage opportunity.
Yeah. So let's say that the bridged ETH, the bridged Hex, right, over from ETH to Pulse is a different price from the Hex that's on the ETH side. There's an arbitrage opportunity. Now, to actually execute upon that, you might, not necessarily have to, but you might have to, send that over to bridge it over.
That'll be the same price because it's ETH.
It will only be the same price if the arbitrage happens. Otherwise, it will be a different price. The arbitrage has to happen.
No, because you just bring it over and you've got it. You just bridge it over and it's there.
Why don't we see what happens when it opens up?
It'll still exist, that arbitrage, but that's right.
I can see a nice big Hex to Hex pair on the Pulse side.
Yep. And
all right.
Yeah.
I sent you the link. I sent you the link of that video if you want to hit it. So the link to the video I was talking about, I put it in the private chat. But so let's take a look.
Actually, that video that you sent, I did write in the private chat. I can't show it because I don't have our Facebook account.
Oh, that's okay. Maybe what I'll do. Should work. So this is the video here.
Ooh. Where's the dog? Oh.
But wait for it.
Dude, that dog. What a legend.
That's pretty madness, right?
That is cool. That's cool.
All right, that's enough of that. So if you guys want to watch it, there's a link somewhere. Anyway, so I'm going to start with Bitcoin. These are my Hopium parabolas. I've got two of them, this purple one and this white one. And as you can see, we're still going to be at 150K by before the end of 2022. So sometime this year, 150K Bitcoin, guys. I don't know what's going to happen, but these are the parabolas I've been kind of like looking at that are possible, and hopefully, this purple one, we're still within that one.
Yeah.
So
so still intact at the moment until we breach what about the 30K mark, and then it falls to pieces.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, if we went into the low 30s and closed a week, then it would. I mean, it already looks pretty shit, but I mean, it looks shit back here as well, with all this space and stuff like that. So that's why I've ended up drawing this purple one, because obviously this white one's got so much gaps in here. But yeah, we'll see what happens. But obviously parabolas are not very, they're not very reliable in terms of TA. But it just shows, like, when you look at it like this chart doesn't look that bad. Like, this is not that horrible. Like, this probably looked scarier back here or even here or something. I'm not sure. But we did make the higher high. Oh, so this is a weekly chart going all the way back to 2014. Okay. Start of 2015.
Okay, so that's the that halvening there. And then we had the other halving wasn't as big.
Yeah, so this was the 2017 bull, but I guess what I'm trying to show is, like, this doesn't look as terrible as everyone's making out. Like on crypto Twitter, people are losing their minds. In fact, I saw the most hilarious tweet about BitBoy. It had two calls that he made. It was like a local top where he was like, Bitcoin, the bull market's still on, and it was like literally the local top. And then like a couple of weeks later, he tweeted, if you don't realize that Bitcoin can go down to 20K, then you must be new here. And then that was the local bottom, and then it pumped from there. It's just absolutely hilarious. So, like, ripping on noobs and making calls that make you sound like a total noob, it's ironic as shit. So let's go to total 2. So this is the total market cap excluding Bitcoin, and this really concerns me. So this was the descending channel that I had been watching, which had been intact all the way back from, October of last year, all the way through here. I was kind of expecting this channel to kind of stay intact until it just ran out of downward momentum and then break to the upside. But this thing just got absolutely smashed during that crash. And now we're well below this support zone. We're well below the channel. This just got absolutely smashed. So I'm hoping that we can, so we're around about $1 trillion excluding Bitcoin. And I'm hoping we can at least find support in this green zone down here around the $800 billion mark. So that chart also doesn't look that great, but I'm still bullish overall. Or I should say rather that if we are in a bear market that isn't just like a local crash, I still think it's going to be a short-term bear market. So now let's go over to Hex. Sorry, Jexxa, did you want to make any comments about this chart?
No, I agree. It does look pretty terrible at the moment. It looks like it's got a little bit of a drop down to that next green zone.
Yep.
We've just got someone saying, are you able to look at your descending channel on the log scale?
That chart should have been log. Yeah, that's log. So
there you go, Decrypto.
Yeah,
that was log.
So this is a log chart. Yeah, that's actually why you can see in this channel that the lines are not quite parallel because of that log. When you turn log off, those channels are parallel. So then the Hex chart, we are basically down, 63% from the all-time high, which is lower than where I expected to be. But as some people previously mentioned, we've got sacrifice phase potentially impacting that. In a downtrend, I was sort of watching this trend line here, and this pump that happened earlier today just absolutely smashed through it. And now we're sitting on this support level here. These purple lines are fibs. The red lines are just resistance lines that I've got on the chart. And yeah, this was interesting down here, that the wick here went lower than the wick here, but the close was higher than the close here. So if you're using candle closes on the 1 hour, then you would say that this was a higher low. But if you're using wicks, it was actually a lower low. So some indecision there. Or some people might say that's close enough to just call it a double bottom. I wouldn't be surprised if we move sort of like, Bloobum was saying sideways. I think sideways to up. Jexxa, have you got any short-term directionality vibe going?
Well, we've got to hold that long-term trend line, and I think that little boost that you're showing there would put us above that. I don't know if you've got one of those.
Yeah, a good point, actually. I do have that line. I'll just change the candle length. So this is the weekly now.
Mm-hmm.
So this is that trend line that we were talking about earlier, and at the moment we're actually just below it.
So I think, do you normally use V1 for your long-term stuff?
Yeah, this is V2.
So I normally do that stuff on the V1 chart, just so I've got a bit more data, it's pretty close to where you're at there now anyway.
I can pull up. We'll just grow here.
So by doing that, OG43, I think I realized what our difference of thought was just before. It's that I'm assuming that on the Pulse side, you're going to have ETH USDC to ETH Hex being traded on the Pulse side.
Yeah, you will.
If you've got ETH USDC bridged over, then you have the two hexes over on the Pulse side. That means you could also have an ETH USDC to Pulse Hex and an ETH USDC to ETH Hex traded on the Pulse side.
Correct.
But you need to bridge it over is the point. Like, you
wouldn't bother. You wouldn't bother. You would just like trade it on the Pulse side because that's the cheaper way to.
You might, but other people will trade it on the ETH side. So therefore you've got a gap. It's two separate markets. It's like two different exchanges.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I was looking on the wrong one. So this is the V1 chart. That actually looks better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If you go from the V1,
that's actually much better.
It's right on that line. So this is obviously, that's critical. You want to try and hold that line.
Yeah, so looking at it on this chart, it looks like that wick actually already sort of wicked down and actually found support on the, what was that, at the 17 cents. Yeah, that's a lot better. Nice.
Yeah.
And that goes back all the way to, December 2019. Tight. All right, well, that makes things a little bit less stressful.
Happy with that one? That was easy. Yeah, no, it is a critical point in time. So that would, if that is a double, essentially that could be a double bottom / higher low, right on the critical trend line. That could be the best opportunity to buy now. Could be.
Yeah. I mean,
drop through.
It would suggest that if you assume that trend line will hold, then that's the lowest price that you will be able to buy it for ever again, because we're actually on the line.
Yep.
I do agree with what Bloobum said before about when we know for sure that PulseChain is launching, I think the hex price is going to pump. I think people are just going to be buying into it just to get the copy, just as we see with every single fork, every single major fork that's happened,
We've seen it on big payday.
Yeah, when people know that they're going to get a copy of something, they just ape into it. And it's going to be people who have nothing to do with Hex whatsoever. They're going to be like, oh, there's going to be this opportunity, and all these people who have never been in Hex before, I think, are going to get in at that just because they know that they're going to get a copy of it. And then there's going to be volatility after, as we know. I think there's going to be volatility after, right?
There are so many moving pieces to this puzzle that I don't think you can game it out in your head, and
You know what? It's really just don't have it. It's almost like don't have a plan when you just stand back and watch.
Yep.
Because like who knows what shenanigans are going to go on and how people are going to price stuff and what reactions people are going to have, reactions to.
Yep.
Like it's going to be a mess.
If you hold Hex, you've sacrificed a Pulse, sacrificed Pulse X.
You're sitting.
You should be just sit back and
just
enjoy the ride.
Watch. Just grab the popcorn.
Sack and chill.
Yeah. If you've got a different motive where you missed out on Pulse and you want to get some, then obviously you've got to pay a little bit closer attention, I guess.
But really,
and there was a formula. There was a formula that was thrown out there, wasn't there, about what you could potentially do if you were doing that.
But that's the thing is you don't want to have a pre-thinged idea about what to do, because it could just all of a sudden your plan goes out the window as soon as something starts happening, and then you react out of trying to do something else or whatever. And
depends who's proposing it. You know, if it's coming from if it's coming from the man himself, then
but he can't predict it either. He doesn't know what's going to happen. This is all sorts of people playing a game.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, yeah, you could be right. You could be right. Maybe you don't follow that, but I feel like what he's put out there in the past has pretty much worked. I mean, for example, what you were saying about, getting into Hex and claiming your Bitcoin, Jexxa, and then selling the Bitcoin. If you had done that according to the hey, you could do this, how many times have we heard him say, hey, you could do this, right? And I just think that that is, once again, it's like you should pay attention. Pay attention. Read in between the lines, and then do what you want to do.
So tell people what he said. You can't leave people hanging like that.
Yeah. So he said that perhaps, I think it was something along the lines of, if you were going to sacrifice and you had Hex and you're going to sacrifice for Pulse X, maybe you sacrifice 75%, keep the 25% of Hex liquid or staked or whatever, and then with that 75%, you break it up into 3 parts. And I, off the top of my head, I can't remember if he said swap 2/3 of that for Pulse, or swap one. Was it swap
2/3 for Pulse, because you're going to pick up the double. You'll pick up the double on the 1/3, which will make them both 2/3 essentially.
No, he had something. He said it was like if you didn't get any Pulse, then you get Pulse X to swap it for Pulse.
Yeah, that was a different. Yeah, that's a different statement. I don't.
No, that's his latest one.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. No, I agree. So he was. I don't know the exact phrase, but it was, if you missed out on Pulse, you might get the opportunity to swap your Pulse X for Pulse before there's.
But that's why that's such a risky. It's such a risky maneuver. Like you might just be dumping for shit.
Yeah, but is it though? So, and this is okay. So I was thinking the same thing. It's a bit of a known quantity, so we know how many tokens are going to be there on PulseChain. We know roughly how much got sacrificed. Well, we know exactly how much got sacrificed. So you can determine a price per token, which would be fair value, I guess. You can do the same on PulseX when it's finished launching. We'll know what the total supply will be. We will know
how much was
sacrificed, so we know how much the average price was. So if you used that, then I guess you could line them up in a pool at those ratios. I'm not saying it's a smart play, because one could rock it.
Look at the price of Ethereum compared to Uniswap. you can't compare them.
Yeah, no, I totally, like, you don't know how each of those is going to perform price wise, but at that point in time, price per token, you could say was equivalent. Now, obviously, it depends. What's that?
Which do you think is going to be the better performer after 2 years?
That's a hard one. I mean, I know a lot of other modeling and stuff that I've done with my other stuff I'm doing, so I look at it a little bit differently. And for me, I like the look of Pulse, but I could be wrong.
And what about after 5 years?
Mate, that's a long time in crypto. I wouldn't have a clue.
Yeah,
Wouldn't even know where to start. I mean, I'm making
It's a
shit up
hard
as
question.
it is.
What about you
Yeah.
guys? What about you? What tangent?
What was the question? What's going to perform the best?
Yeah, out of PulseX and Pulse after 2 years.
No idea.
Well, Pulse X ends in sex, so I'm gunning for that one.
There's a lot of people that are pretty bullish on Pulse X. Yeah.
Do you know, I've got an answer for you, Bloobum. I think within a 2-year time bracket, both of them would be easily manipulated by any of the large players. So, like, in terms of the liquidity, like, even look at Hex right now. Any of the whales could move that price up or down substantially. So I would say whale favorability, like if there's a particular taste that one of the whales has that is more favorable or less favorable to either one of those projects, or trading between the two, could have a massive impact. And that is completely unpredictable. We're talking the will of a single person with large bags. And let's be honest, all the Hex whales are going to have massive stacks of all 3 coins. Well, 4 coins if you count like eHex, pHex. So we're talking like there are going to be some dudes that can just like make the prices whatever they want. For that, I'm not saying forever, but when we're talking short term, like 2 years.
Franklin Saint Hex, shout out to you, mate. Is calling PulseX at least doing a 6,000x in 2 years.
Yeah, that sounds conservative to me.
That would be very tasty.
That sounds
okay.
conservative to me.
All right, so
that's less than what Hex did.
Yeah. But Hex is a special, man. Hex people have been getting paid to not sell it.
Yeah. So Franklin, what's your thoughts on Pulse then?
But Bluey, like, like, look at what meme coins do. So there were meme coins that, like, you know what I mean? Like, so I think
absolutely.
I agree with you that logic would dictate that Hex should outperform, but crazy things can happen.
It's just so funny, just like do 6,000x in 2 years is conservative.
Do you think we're being spoiled by Hex a little bit?
Maybe. Hey, maybe. You know.
Yes.
I don't know. I'm pretty.
I do, Jexxa. I do.
I'm pretty confident they're both going to do okay, but I think it's just going back to what we were saying about if you haven't sacrificed for Pulse, that one play could be to swap some of your PulseX for Pulse. I think that's a legitimate play. Just having you're dipping your toes into each little pool, I think is a fair play. I think that's a reasonable thing to do, a safe thing to do.
Having a bit in each pool is definitely.
If you don't understand all the feedback loops, go to my Jexxa YouTube channel. I've got a video on there on feedback loops that will sort of give you an understanding of everything we've got laid at our feet here, and how if you play the game right, it can go up pretty crazy. And yeah, will fit. One thing doing well is great for the other thing doing well. Pulse does well, that means PulseX does even better. If PulseX does even better, then Pulse will do even better. So they all feed back in on themselves. So if you understand what's been put in front of us, you understand it's going to be a pretty crazy couple of years.
Oh, it's madness. Madness.
There's a lot of, I know, like the crypto ecosystem right now is just crying, but we've got a lot to look forward to in the next couple of years. Like we are just, this is the groundwork being laid right now.
Yeah.
There's a lot to look forward to for hexagons, pulsicons, and pulsexicons. Has a name been developed for that yet? Pulsexicons. There you go.
Sexicons?
I said it first.
Pulsexicons.
Yeah.
Actually,
so
guys, maybe we need a fucking name for the community broadly that's not project specific. I mean, we've already got like Richard Hart maximalist, which I'm leaning towards becoming more and more of a Richard Hart maximalist as time goes on. Like, I've only ever become more of a fan, never less. I know sometimes I say stuff that's not like, doesn't sound like I'm blowing him quite as hard as everyone else in the Hex community. But I really, over time, have become more and more of a fan of that guy. He's fucking legendary. And so maybe we need a term, like a community name for that broader group, rather than, because there's so much overlap. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're having to like do multi-hashtag, like hexagon, pulsicon, pulsexicon, like every.
It's only going to get worse.
It's only going to get worse.
It's funny.
Yeah.
How about heart stoppers or heart starters?
One thing, just while we're talking about Richard Hart, Maxis, and his projects, there's been a few that have tried to copy Hex, and we've had the ones that we know about from a year or two ago, which have pretty much crashed and burnt. There's been some more recent attempts at doing something similar. I won't say the project's name, but there's two of them, which similar sort of thing where they tried to introduce the game theory about locking, and although it wasn't a true lock, and both of those projects have just been absolutely crunched in the last 3 weeks. 95% down sort of stuff.
Ouch.
Weren't they already like
already
dog shit? They were already dog shit.
No, these aren't the ones, the original copies.
Oh, yeah, I think I know what you're talking about. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. These are two more recent ones that were the flavor of the month. Been around, call it 6 months or so. Absolutely tanked because they didn't get the game theory right. They didn't have the true locking in them. And you can promote all what people should do, but people will act in their own best interest. And they missed that critical part when they were describing how the game theory works, and it absolutely smashed them. So, you want me to? Do I say the names or not?
I have no idea what you're talking about. So I have no idea.
Okay, so Olympus, DAO, and Wonderland.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah, Olympus got crushed,
Man.
so crushed.
Yep.
So there's a lot to be said for being, having the first mover advantage, and I think the whole, hard locking up, and long-term store of value. In my mind, there's no doubt that it goes to Hex, and it's not gonna change. I think it's just gonna consolidate and become more so in future. I mean, look how far we've come in 26 months. Look how far we've come.
Yeah.
What do you reckon about the price performance of Hex over the next 2 years compared to Pulse and PulseX?
Honestly, I couldn't tell one from the other now. Like you might get a quick boost on Pulse. I don't know. But Hex has got that. Hex has got the game theory that keeps people honest.
So it's a difficult question, right?
Yeah.
Because where's the starting point? We need to define these things, because for Pulse, for Hex to do another 10,000x, all it needs to do is hit $1.12, and then it's done 20,000x, right? But that's just a double. So what are we talking about? Are we talking starting points from here, like how well they're going to do? Is that what you mean?
Yeah.
So because if let's say, then you'd have to multiply. What are we on now? What X's are we on now for Hex?
Probably like 4,000x or something.
4,000x. So if we were to do a 10,000x from here, what's that? That's going to be like, they're going to be 4 million. It's going to be 40 million X. 40 million X? Do you know, it's like, are we going to do it? We could do it. Who knows, man? Who knows? I don't know.
X's go up like small moves. Small moves.
Bitcoin has not done a 40 million X.
Yes, it
Bitcoin
has.
has not done it. No, it hasn't. It's done a 6.9 million X.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
What you got to understand with Hex now is every
it started, yeah.
every small move in Hex now, or call it small move in crypto.
I used to be free Bitcoin, didn't it?
Yeah, 100% move in Hex now, which is in crypto is 100%. It's not a big move. That's massive X's
from the all-time low. Yeah. It's huge X's from the, like I said, if we hit $1.12, that is double the all-time high, and that would be a 20,000x with that double from 10,000x to 20,000x.
Yeah, it'd be very hard to do because people would be selling off so much as they got so rich up on the way up, wouldn't they?
How much do you need?
No, but there's all the shells and everything. Like if they 10,000x, then they become millionaires or whatever.
Yeah, but what they can sell is a lot less.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So, so
so
that's going to affect the price.
People who are billionaires or tens of billionaires or whatever, they'll be selling loads, you'd reckon.
Why? They don't. People that are wealthy and have lots of assets don't need to sell them.
No, I know, but they'd be spending it.
Yeah.
Buying it.
How much can you spend there?
They'd be spending it to get the word.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah,
they'd be spending it. So that's what I'm saying, though. It's like the higher it goes, the more it gets sold off. But then
okay, do you know what? I'll push back on that one. Is the liquidity increases as you do that. So you end up just naturally, you end up with deeper liquidity.
Yeah, maybe. So in that case, like, do coins when they're initially starting, like, it sounds like it's much easier for a coin when it's starting to do a 10,000x than a coin that's already been in existence for a couple of years. That's what we're saying, though, isn't it?
I think so, but the question is this: is the coin going? I mean, it's got more potential, I guess, to do a 10,000x, but will it do a 10,000x? That's the question mark, because you know, it's easy to say, oh, you know, Bitcoin did a 10,000x or a 6.9 million x. Ethereum, what did that do? That did a 48,000. What did it do? It did something massive, like a
Hex did something ridiculous.
30,000x or something like that.
Yeah.
30,000. I think it did maybe a 40,000x. And Hex has done a 10,000x. But they're three coins. Like, they're like, you know, they're just a few. They're the minority. Like, how many other ones are able to? Well, we're talking about probably the three best things that have ever been in crypto. Those three things. That's not going to be the case soon, though. Once Pulse launches, soon.
I'll tell you what the difference
top
is.
Three
I
will
think
be Hex, Pulse, and PulseX for sure.
One of the biggest things that could be the big gainer for Pulse and probably PulseX as well is the community already exists. So most projects, when they launch, it's like about 2 years is the point where you get that hockey stick. So they have a run up, dumps down to hell, then they've got to reform and then hockey stick.
Yeah.
And that's because you've got to get that network effect kick in and it'll ramp off. Now, the thing that's different this time is we've brought not only a bunch of hexagons across, you've also brought all these new guys that were keen on Pulse and now PulseX. So you've brought a big community across at once. That is a big difference.
Yeah. Yeah. That is I think the most important thing for.
It's so hard.
I think that's what's going to propel it forward.
It's so hard to predict. You know, like, yeah, it's so hard to predict which ones do better.
They're both going to do great. They will both do well.
All are going to do
Oh,
great.
no, if that's what I said. If
They
you
will
hold
do
them all,
You know
you're
what? If anything,
happy.
out of all of them, I'm a bit bearish on ETH. Maybe.
yeah, I don't know that one.
But even that, you know, like you're not going to sell it if you don't need to. But if you want to sell something, like okay, you're holding all four. You want to go and spend some money on something. You want to take out quite a bit. What do? Do you take a little bit out of each of them, or do you just like dump a whole lot of EHEX?
Yeah, I wouldn't
It's-
give up. I wouldn't give up. I would give up something that's not a yielding asset before I gave up a yielding asset.
So you give up the Pulse or the Pulse X before you gave up the
Pulse is a yielding asset.
They're all yielding assets. They're
No, they're not. They are not.
PulseX is not.
Well, it's it's a deflationary.
Yeah. Yeah.
What do you mean it's not? Because you've got it in liquid loans or whatever.
No.
No. PulseX is not a yielding.
But Pulse is not a yielding asset. It's also
Yes, it is. You stake it.
Yeah, you can stake it. Yeah.
You can delegate it. Yeah, but you're not going to earn much from that.
How do you know? We don't know. Like,
It doesn't sound
It's still
like,
yielding.
I don't think
it's still.
it's
It
still-
is. Yeah,
it's
it's
still
still
yielding.
yielding though. But who knows what it's going to be? I don't know what
Hey,
it's going to
and
be.
just remember, Bluey, just remember this, and this is an important point. Hex is inflationary, Pulse is deflationary. So even if you're earning small amounts, think about what those small amounts might be worth in 5-10 years time. Like they might be worth a lot just because of that deflationary nature. And the
you
fact
guys
that it's
fancy-
deflationary, it ramps up like way more over time.
So,
You know?
so what I said was, okay, let's say you guys get into this position where you've got an absolute heap of money. You've got it all in EHEX, PHEX, Pulse, and PulseX. You need to grab out $1 million. Do you grab it from a little from each of them? Or do you grab the lot from one of them? Or do you...
I don't think you can't answer it in isolation because it depends on what a chart's doing at a particular time.
You just make the decision at the
Depends.
time.
Yeah, that's all you can do. Like if something's doing a blow off top, well
It's
then
different.
I'm
It's
just
different
trying
for
to
everyone as
ascertain
well.
like what ranking you have with each of them. You know what I mean?
Well, I just told you mine. I think yielding assets are pretty special. Like I've searched my whole life for an asset that goes up in capital value and pays me a yield.
Yeah.
They don't exist. Yeah, outside of crypto, that's hard to get that sort of shit.
So you'll be dumping your Pulse X, is what you're saying.
I'll look at the markets at the point in time and see. Yeah, and like I don't even think that's the right term because you're not going to need to, man. Like it's
Selling a little bit of.
yeah.
Yeah.
Property is the one that comes to mind. Like, you know, property is the one that comes to mind, that it's something that traditionally has gone up in price, and you can get a yield.
So you might on property you might get a yield of like 4 to 5%
if you're lucky.
Yeah, if you're lucky, and you do not get the price appreciation on that yield or on the asset like we do in.
It depends, man. It depends.
Not.
I mean,
Not like we do in crypto.
No, you're right. But in the last, tell me in the last 3 or 4 years in Australia, that if you were holding
It's been
like, you know,
ridiculous in Australia in the last few years.
it's been ridiculous in a lot of places, yeah. But here it's been pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But nothing like crypto. I mean, you know, people are pretty happy.
Yeah.
But you know what the thing is, that people are so happy that their property went up in value. But you know, what are you going to do? You're going to sell it now and then go buy something else. You're going to pay capital gains. You're going to pay stamp duty on buying the new place. You know, it's like people are taking chunks out of it left, right, and center, agency fees. You know, so to some extent, you're better off just like sitting on it. You know.
No, you're better off selling it and putting it into crypto.
Yes, like our Hexagon legend.
Legend.
The first Hexagon legend.
You know, Michael Saylor actually does the most amazing pitch for what you guys are talking about in terms of why crypto smashes the shit out of any legacy financial instrument asset. It's the transportability, divisibility. You can sell a part of it, keep the rest. You can send it at the speed of light to wherever it needs to be. Real estate is jurisdiction specific. If you want to move, you've got to like sell and then buy another property somewhere else. Crypto, you just take it with you or sell it or whatever. Like, it's just the flexibility just smashes everything, just absolutely smashes everything. Yeah. It's just no maintenance cost, no storage cost. I think I've run through this list before. It's just, it's the easiest pitch ever, and it's not disputable. Like, these things are not things that someone can be like, oh, well, I prefer my asset to not have amazing properties like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just the competition. It's the
worst thing about it. The worst thing about it is the barrier to entry for the person trying to get in. That's the worst thing about it.
Also, the like fuck up ability. Yeah. In terms of if you lose your keys or something like that, that's also bad. So it's not perfect. There is definitely cons, but you can mitigate those cons
by learning. Taking time and learn.
And I think it's so outweighed by the pros that it's worth those cons.
Like, it's not that hard to learn to use crypto. Like, it feels like it when you're first getting into it because it's all new and scary. But once you just spend a bit of time doing it, like, and, you know, just actually doing it, you'll be fine.
Yep. All right, guys. I think it's we've had a good one.
Did you guys mention that it's Australia Day tomorrow? That's why I need to bail to go and get ready for a boat party.
No.
We want to see more photos, Tangent.
Oh yeah, there'll be photos and videos tomorrow for sure. It's gonna be crazy. Are you guys doing anything for Oz Day?
I'm doing an acro jam.
Cool.
An acro jam.
So for international viewers, Oz Day is like our national holiday. Yeah.
Day 43. Just before we head off, can you repost that tune? Actually, we're going to go out on the tune.
Yeah, we'll go out on the tune. Hey.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Thanks everyone in the chat. We will see you next week. This is the Hex Late Show, and thanks Jexxa, Tangent, Bloobum, and Sammy, who was on earlier. Awesome. We'll see you next week. Hey.
Cheers, guys. See ya.
Yo. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. Yes. Best investment went all in. Whoa, yeah. And staking we ballin'. Cop Hex and what's next? Stake stacks to the max. 4 5s and relax. Future me giving thanks. Lil Squid climb the ranks. Unstaking, restaking 80%. Owning my shit, I ain't paying no rent. Feel like a boss on the way to the bank. TYRH gotta give thanks. Attitude of gratitude is natural for Hexagon. Hex flexing all thanks to him. After every dip we ascend. Up and to the right be the trend. By design is why ratification delays. Staking letter got me heavily paid. Making cheddar every step of the way. Haters tell them it's a scam. They just jealous they ain't getting okay. So many wish they would take a chance. Join me and take a leap of faith. They will be singing with me today. TYRH. Hex IQ test from the start. Those involved saw what I saw. Picture painted by Richard Hart. Only haters try shitting on. They lacking vision, ain't really smart. Hexagon is the best of men invested in Hex. Just look at the chart. Haters debating, they hating the facts. That is still outperforming them all. Player been driving a bitch in a moped. Now I'm performing a car. Everything around me changed for the better. I'm so glad. So I'm singing this song. Days of being a bit of broke ass in the past, right where they belong. Yes. So I gotta give thanks to RH for showing the way. I'm feeding the fam. Used to be dark days when I go to sleep. Now I'm dreaming again. Take a look at my staker app. I continue to win. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. Yes. Best investment went all in. Yeah. Whoa. And staking we ballin'. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. I cop Hex and went all in. Yeah. Whoa. And staking we ballin'. Take a look at my my staker app. Long stake, stay getting fat. In my old days, I be okay. Daily pay me and Hex. Instead of hating, you should buy Hex. Try stake and be a clever man. T-shares be the money printer. Printing money like the government. Haters is dumb and they never get it. On board them and they go quiet. Daily pay make them see the vision. Those who ball stay real about it. Come forward and they say sorry. Hexagons don't worry about it. We staking Hex in the staker app. Meeting up, this is throw parties. Make it rain on the PulseChain. Mainnet come with all copies. All of my Hex, yes. All of my ERCs and the PRCs, man, it's gonna be lit. You broke, you're gonna be rich. Stop crying, this hopping this dick. TY always gotta give thanks. Strategize how I stake mines. Bigger page with a longer time. 4 5s just to nullify any chance of me turning out to be a dead broke ass old guy. Stay staked till the day I die. Restake until I'm 85. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. Yes. Best investment went all in. Yeah. Whoa. And staking we ballin'. Yeah. Give thanks to the God that we all ate. TYRH. Hex flexing like all day. Yes. I cop Hex and went all in.